I'll be like, what are you guys doing?
That's funny. That's a dad. Yeah, he's embarrassing.
Yeah, but this
different time.
Hold on.
Different time. You can't do
it
now.
No. If I did this at Max's birthday party,
I wish you would.
I'd be a sexual predator.
I'd turn you in.
Well,
anonymous Castleberry tip.
I could not.
You know how hard it is to give an anonymous Castleberry tip? You have to call a raccoon.
That's why we'd call you, the case of the anonymous Castleberry tip.
Hot tub and mini fridge.
Oh my God.
Radio. No! You didn't even give us $1!
Push it some more.
I need so much pussy. No shit!
We'll put a toad load in your hand.
Big tits! Kayaking stinks!
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but
Fruity tooty, fresh, fruity.
No,
I hit it wrong every time. I ain't gonna lie.
every time.
Lick it.
Also, it's meant to sound super fancy, but every time I hear it, I think of Cornholio.
Wow.
Because it's a portfolio Cornholio. It's a portfolio Cornholio.
For I am the great Cornholio. I need kippy for my bunghole.
Your boys have no chance.
Are we changing the name of the bit to Cornholio's portfolio? I'll do it. I'll write a theme song.
It makes me laugh.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot.
You stopped your brain, right? The hard drive
Yeah,
stopped.
it did.
The hard drive seized.
I said I was an idiot.
I think you just hit
reset.
maximum nirvana. You just hit the funniest.
When I admit to my idiot brain that I'm an idiot, it turns off and resets
That's the
itself.
reset, yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh, the gigabyte
He's on to us.
Uh-oh. Have to do a reboot here.
All right, Pat, I'm going to give you one more word, and then we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins because I'm done with this.
You're listening to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Thank you for downloading.
Speaking of real dads, we got a guy in Western Colorado who, you guys remember, what was that movie, like 171 Hours, where the guy got pinned under the boulder, had to cut his own arm
It's
off?
127 hours.
Okay,
171.
He would have been dead by 171.
171 is called Flies.
That's called guy finds a skeleton with an arm underneath.
I got $5 says it could have lasted that long. But this guy, a trailer, he's a logger, and a tractor trailer lurched, became detached, and landed on his foot. And then he hollered for help, but after 30 minutes realized no one was coming, and he cut all 5 toes off of his foot with a 3-inch pocket knife.
My God, wait a little longer. 30 minutes? You fucking jumped the gun.
I think this guy is like a copycat. He's trying to get a little action off of that 175 hours.
Yeah.
movie.
You liked 175 hours. Now you'll love 3 hours.
No, it was 31 minutes. Like, what the fuck? You weren't even hungry.
Hey,
You were
man,
so
oh, shit. There's something on my foot. I'm a trucker. Got to cut him off, man. Pocket knife crazy.
And that's it.
All right, there she blows. That's it. All she wrote.
It ends with there she blows. He just gets on. He really
No,
does.
I meant to say all she wrote.
Oh.
All she wrote.
Yeah. Then he just drives. It doesn't even. It really barely hurt.
As he's being loaded into the ambulance, he looks back and says, "Hey, man, don't forget my Larry the Cable Guy tapes."
I'm still fucking amazed that he only waited 30 minutes. I mean, someone would. Was he on the road? I mean,
He had a load to get there.
I don't believe that he only waited 30 minutes. Like, why would
You know why? Because he was so fucking methed out
that he couldn't?
that he freaked.
30 minutes seemed like 200
it seemed
days.
like an eternity. He's like, "Fuck, man."
Why not wait until someone's come looking for it? Like, if the guy has a wife or someone's like, hey, he went out to his normal logging spot, like, you would assume that, hey, they're going to come looking for me. I mean, I could survive 24 hours easily before I start to get, thirsty
it's
or
just
hungry.
your toes. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, you're not dying, so then you just sit there. I mean, and it's not cold because it's the summer, so you just sit there and you wait until someone gets in. Now, after 24 hours, you're like, okay, I'm hungry and I'm starting starting to get dehydrated. Now I cut my toes off because I've waited. But not 30 minutes. What if you're cutting your last toe off and the guy's like, Bill, we've been looking for you. Fuck.
You're listening to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Thank you for downloading.
This is how tired I am. What's the word if you're a female actress?
A female actress is an actress.
Yes, but there's a scarlet.
A scarlet?
Isn't that what?
Starlet?
Starlet? Scarlet? Scarlet Johansson.
You are crazy today. No, it's a starlet.
Is that a female actress? A starlet?
A starlet.
Okay.
Why would you say a scarlet?
Dude, listen, I'm going to tell you, I was up all night
are you all right?
at a hotel, and then I drove.
And you overate.
And then I overate twice. Once in the fucking free breakfast. And then I missed my fucking exit.
I know.
Then I was late here.
No, you were fine here, man. I told you we didn't even have to tape this today. Oh, wait a minute. This is live.
Happy, I was supposed to say Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy. You're crazy today, man. You're fucking crazy.
I'm sweating now.
You are. You okay? You having a heart attack? Have a heart attack right now. This is our last show.
Is it? It's a fucking sauna in here. God, it's hot.
It's 76 degrees in here. You can drop that down.
I'm sweating. Maybe it's that all. Maybe it's because
how many sausage links?
I eat 10 burritos and 2 hamburgers and 10 sausage links.
You just got over having like a heart scare, and now you're eating like the worst shit ever.
Just play the next voicemail. My God.
Fine. Okay.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? It's Tom and Dan.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, you win.
Hey.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey,
What's up? It took y'all all daggum day. I ain't been asleep nor nothing.
Oh,
how many days
my
I gotta
God.
stay up?
We got your emails.
Yeah.
And
You gonna help me out?
well, tell us about your fascination with Jason Aldean and everything. Why you want to go to the show? Are you talking about the Tampa show?
I don't care which though. I don't care as long as I can be near him. Shit.
Yeah.
I'd love to sit on his lap, but can't. He's married. Shit. Too late.
No, he's not
Hey,
married.
as long as I can meet him.
He just got a divorce.
He just got a
recently.
divorce. He's not.
He's on the prowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw your emails and we made some calls because we know a lot of people. Me and Dan, kind of a big deal in this town. We got a lot of hookups.
Okay.
And know a lot of people. And we actually, friend of a friend is actually Jason Aldean's cousin, Billy Aldean.
Really?
Yeah, Billy, are you on the phone?
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How you doing?
Good. Billy, this Billy Aldean?
Absolutely, it's the one and only Billy Aldean.
All right. Now,
Really?
Some people call me Dean Aldean, though.
Okay, that's like a nickname.
Well, Billy Dean Aldean, Dean Aldean, Billy Aldean, Dean Billy Aldean.
Yeah.
I'll answer to anything. Hey, as long as the fucking frog's ass is jumping, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We hear it now.
Hey, who's that laughing? Who's that laughing in the background? Is that somebody?
That's Billy Jean.
Now we got
That's Billy Jean.
we got Billie Jean on the phone. She's a huge fan of your cousin
Billy
Jason.
Dean, my name's Billy Dean.
We got to get him to write a song about us both.
Mm-hmm.
I could write you a song right now. I'm in country music as well. I might be a guitar tech and all, but I'm dabbling in some country music songs. I could write you a song right now.
There we go.
Billy
Let's do
Dean,
it.
Billy Dean, let me eat your grandma pussy. Billy
Oh, my God.
Billy Dean, sit on my face, your butt smells like you don't like very well.
Oh, my goodness.
It's beautiful.
Well, listen.
Um,
Jason might sing it better as burning it down. I like to stand on the back of his truck and have a party.
All right.
I'd like to stand on the back of your head and jizz on your face.
Hey, man.
Come on, Billy.
Billy, you'd have to have some sort of a reflective backdrop. I don't see that working.
Billy, we just called you. We called you because Billie Jean
Is that's not nice to say? I mean, the way I was raised, that's the greatest compliment you can give a Southern woman.
No, yeah. I see what you're saying because he's saying he likes you, Billie Jean. He thinks you're attractive.
Oh.
And,
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
That's good. Okay, I didn't know that. See, I'm too country. I wouldn't know that I was being.
Billy.
I'm country
Somebody
too.
be nice.
And in my part of the country, we come on people's faces.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where are you from?
Yeah, in my country, we swallow. We don't have to worry about it.
All right.
There ain't no evidence
Such a
left.
lady.
Billie Jean, have you thought about swallowing your meds?
Motherfucker. Oh my God, tits and gravy. Tits and gravy.
So, Billie Jean, can you tell?
Shut the front door.
Oh, eat the fried chicken, butt fuck a elephant.
Slap me in the ass backwards and I don't run.
Oh, put a finger in a llama's ass and suck his teeth.
Let me put a dildo up your ass and see if you like butt fucking.
All right.
Oh, jack off a pill and lick some sunshine, mother. I am ready to go. Oh, my God, I'm so hot. Put a projector in my ass and shine the light through my eyeballs.
Lord have mercy.
Holy Jesus, put some sausage gravy on my
Sorry, I know you guys like that cartoon, but I'm fading this one down. I've seen that so many times.
Monday.
So many times. Tits and gravy. Every time I see myself on the camera, I'm like, oh, disgusting. Do you do that? I'm okay with myself when I don't look at myself, but then I look at myself and I'm like, oh, wow, what is that? I did the same thing you were talking about the other day. This morning I got up, I looked in the mirror, and I go, the fuck did I get this giant mega tattoo? What am I? It's huge.
Yeah.
It's my full titties.
Yeah.
Titty tats.
Titty tattoos.
Yeah, I got old titty tats. I want to get a tattoo on my penis.
Woo.
But I want to get the mustache. You know the mustache that people get and then they hold it under their nose?
Yeah.
I want to get the mustache so other men will hold my dick under the nose and have a mustache.
It's a long picture.
It's a prank. They have to be asleep when I do it. It's a prank tattoo. I'm warming up. It's good to have you in here. It's good to have someone else juvenile in here. Finally. God damn, these adults over here. I don't know what to do.
Very serious tension in here.
Yeah, this guy sits at his computer crunching the numbers. Then we were locked out of our bank account for like a week.
That's always very not stressful. No, it's extremely stressful.
I have the funniest story about getting our password back. I have to. I don't know even when to tell it. It's so funny.
I'm so mad at our fucking bank.
I hate
Fuck
them.
that bank.
I hate that
You
bank.
guys have only had terrible experiences
They're
with that
terrible
bank, and I
bank.
don't know how
I still
you
haven't got my check,
They're a
and then
terrible
Tony
bank.
got paid double.
He's out to sea,
He
living
texts
his
me,
best life.
He's like, hey, you pay me double. And I'm like, what?
What? You know, thanks for thinking of me. And you're like, I was not thinking of you.
No.
Can I get another check written back to me?
They're big checks, too. They're humongous. All right. I think we're good.
bank.
Everybody feeling good? Looking good?
No.
And you know they got me because
I know. I'm so
what the
sorry.
fuck am I gonna do? Like go find a new bank?
I will find a new bank. I'll
I got
do it.
you.
No,
you know how
I'm
much
moving
of a
everything.
pain in the dick that is?
I told
New
the lady,
cards.
I'm embarrassed to say what I said at this
I have to
branch.
go-
In their lobby, I said, I'll take my almost $1 million company down the street.
and then
not true.
what I just have to get a cashier's check for the whole balance and all the accounts, and then just go over to another bank.
what
I
they do.
fill out the
Yeah.
fucking paperwork.
Yeah. You got to start
Can
a
I
new
see your
account.
ID, sir? Can I
Yeah.
see your ID? You
Then
have
they
a social security
and then-
card. You're like,
And then they get
Jesus.
those
It's all the
long
same
pieces
shit.
of paper like you're at the car lot, the pink, yellow, blue. You sign
I mean,
yeah.
there's
You
almost
sign here, and you sign here. Then you get a folder that's got all your shit in it.
This is all you.
there's almost a 100% chance that if we go to the same, another bank,
And the same people who work there.
Well, it's just it's
Because
gonna
they jump around.
the same shit, the same
Yeah.
problem. If it's just
Yeah.
some big corporate bank, there's no way that the Truist is
Whoa,
any
whoa.
different than
Shots
fucking
fired. Yeah, we haven't said the name.
Wachovia.
Keep my bank out of your mouth, man.
Same
Like-
shit.
Yeah, banks are. It's like when they're good, they're like, oh man, this is convenient. This is good. It's like not like a great. Oh, this is great. My bank's doing so great. It's just like this is convenient. And then when they do bad, it's the worst thing in the world.
I can't wait to tell
I
you
just
the
want
story.
to be able to go into the account and look at the number.
I want to stare at it.
They're like, you cannot do that today. And they're like, what are you talking about?
today.
No, you should have said.
It's
You should have
broken
heard what they
today.
told. You should have
It's
heard what they told
broken.
me.
Like,
You know what they told me?
A lot of people are gonna have problems.
Here's some
It's
foreshadowing.
broken.
Here's what they told me. They will make you even more mad. They're like, yes, sir, we do see that you're on the account. You're the second primary holder. Yes, I am. I would like to unlock the account. You cannot unlock the account, sir. You are not the primary online holder. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm on the fucking account.
My name is there.
I'm the secondary holder of the account, but you're not on the online account. I'm like, it's the same fucking money. It's my money.
Let me in.
I was yelling at I was making, her name was Tammy. Oh,
Tammy.
I fucking blasted Tammy. It may have been the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
When it's
But
money's
the- but it's the
involved,
best.
it makes a little bit different. You kind of turn into this little, hey, we need to get this money problem fixed out.
I'm going to kill you, Tammy. I'm sorry. All right. That's a good warm-up. I can tell that story in the BDM show. I'll probably feel better about it because I was bad. Would you like to begin, sir?
Yes.
Here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
We've got Pints and Paul's coming up on March 25th.
Is it Pints and Pauls? Because Paul... Is it
Oh.
Pints and Pauls? Or Pints and Paws and Pauls? That's what
Ooh,
it should be
PPP.
called. Yeah, it should be called the PPP.
I wish they'd loaned me money.
Yeah, we do have Pints and
I
Paws.
should have took that card.
We should have taken it. All
I
my
was
friends.
I'm too big and fancy.
This
now.
guy's got integrity.
Yeah.
All my
I was like, well, I don't
friends-
need it, so I'm gonna not take it. So the other Americans who really need it could take it.
Every
It
small
doesn't even
business
matter.
except ours took the money.
Yeah.
Could have been rich.
Could have had
Anyway.
oh my God. Could have had a one wheel. Could have had a jet ski.
All you need is just pay your employees, and then they're like, well, "That's all you need to do." Like it doesn't even need. You don't even need it. I don't need to prove to you
No.
need it. No, just
Yeah,
pay
to do
your
nothing.
employees. Well, that's good. I'll just save the money I was gonna pay them with, and then
buy
take it.
a jet ski.
Anyway,
Pints and Paws. Yeah, go to Sanford. Enjoy some of the finest craft beers ever. I think last year there were, like 115 different beers you could try.
Yeah.
And you can bring your dogs. It is a dog-friendly event. There's all kinds of dog-centric vendors and stuff out there for you to enjoy. So go and support
All for
Pints.
charity.
Yeah, all for charity. Go support Pints and Paws. Pet Rescue by Judy. Judy has become a friend of the show. I love her. She's the best.
She is.
So yeah, support that and do something good for your community. Speaking of doing something good in the community, we have a friend here, sir.
Yep. We've got Gannon here. You may know him as Magic Man. You may
How
know
many
him as
different
the owner
radio
of
names
Kinderhook.
have you had? Have you
Just the one. I
Just
was very
Magic
fortunate.
Man?
Just Magic Man. I was very fortunate. Yeah.
Is the new arrival? Is that Magic Baby or is it?
Yeah, I guess a little Magic Junior.
Mini,
yeah,
Magic
yeah.
Mini?
Hudson
Hudson?
Gannon Stokes. That's what
Oh,
I'm
I
naming
love
him.
the
Yeah.
name.
Me and my
I
wife.
love the
Yeah,
name.
we're very
That-
excited.
That's spot on, man. That's like perfect for you. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
And give her some love from us. That's
Oh,
very,
yeah,
very
but,
cool.
she loves you guys.
She's got to be stoked.
Oh, she is beyond a
Or
stoked.
swollen and upset. I don't
Both.
know. I don't know. The
Both. All
pregnancy
three, actually.
is
All
horrible.
three.
It's horrible.
Oh, Hudson is, 1 year in, he's going to be more of a real man than me.
Oh, yeah, he already is.
He'll already know how to do better tile work than I can.
Just a skilled little guy.
I realized
talk
this
to you about
morning.
that,
I
but-
realized this morning with my. Also, I can't move very well because of my back. I realized that this morning I give nothing to society.
No,
Nothing. I only take from society. Even the words I say that people say, "Oh man, you really got me through that." No, I'm just taking. From you. I'm just stealing your. I'm stealing everything. I'm bad. It's
a
all
human
bad.
draw.
Yeah,
Oh,
I am a leech. I am a small
Succubus.
I am a tiny, broken,
Okay.
ugly leech man.
So again, I want to talk to you about your new son coming, but before that, you messaged me a while ago, and you mentioned that you wanted to help out Steve from Porky's Barbecue, and it's something awesome because Steve is I've known the guy for nearly 20 years,
something, yeah.
and he's only tried to help everybody around him throughout the entirety of his business.
Almost
like,
to the point where you'll see him and you're like, I think he needs help. You're like,
and there's like all
but
he
he's
does
still
is
helping everybody.
Everybody, all the time.
Giving
man.
people jobs,
It's
giving people food.
benefits, like the
Dropping prices on foods during inflation. I mean, he's done it all, man.
Raising money for people that have passed away. You know,
I mean,
like doing bike nights for people that need a little extra juice for a funeral or something. You know?
I mean, probably hundreds of people throughout the years of it. Like he's
Gotta
always helping out someone. I
Gotta
mean, BDMs. I know that we've personally been involved with these BDMs that passed away in a motorcycle accident that he did a benefit for to try to help and give
He
back to
gave
their
my
family.
father-in-law money off of their wedding catering, and you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Stop doing that.
He just hooks people up, man. That's what he's
does.
been doing, like 20 plus years in Apopka, man. He's been giving back.
It's his vibe.
1 week ago was his 20-year reunion. He's been in business out there.
You were just
Congrats,
saying
Steve.
before we started the show, tell us about the idea you came up with.
Yeah, so me and my buddy Sam Schroth, we were driving around, leaving a job, and we started just, he looked at me and goes, man, dude, you know who always gives and never really gets anything back, and not like a bad way or anything like that. He goes, and we're sitting there driving, and we both said at the same time, we're like, Steve. And we're like, man, dude, nobody really, he's always constantly giving. And so we're like, dude, what can we do for Steve? What can we do for Steve, And then we're like, dude.
Let's give him a makeover.
Yeah, dude, that's what we do.
Let's dye his hair.
Get his fingernails painted.
Let's get some boss-ass clothes. Let's dress him like Dickie Baird from the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. Get him a crazy, like a zoot suit.
Trombone, the whole 9 yards.
A mohawk helmet, a mohawk military style.
Yeah.
And
or
so
maybe a Nazi outfit. No.
Let's microblade his eyebrows.
Yes,
that's what
it
needs.
He needs microbladed.
So clean and defined looking now.
Oh,
Look at
God. He looks like the Carrot Top of barbecue.
And so we were just basically like, let's remodel his restaurant. We can do the
that's
labor.
awesome.
We can do the labor. You know what I mean? Me and Sam, we provided $10,000 right off the rip for labor repairs because we didn't know what he was doing, how long he was leasing it for. So we were like, oh, how are we going to do this? We want to surprise him, but we don't want to let the cat out of the bag. And so I just basically banded up with, I think 45 people or so that I personally knew, you guys, a bunch of businesses, and just said, hey, man, I got this idea. I wanted to redo Porky's restaurant. I want to give him something back, without him having to spend any money whatsoever.
Yeah.
Dude, we raised $4,000. I thought we were going to raise $1,500 bucks, and it was like, when we hit $4,000, I was like, this is a pretty big deal. And it made me really think he's a pretty big deal, and so, once again, I was sitting at home the day before the little thing. We were going to present him with this, big check for $4,000, a plaque. I was like, man, dude, why don't I go to the city council? Why don't I go to the city hall and just walk in there and see what I can do? So I walked in there and
did you bring the big check?
I didn't bring the big check. I thought about bringing all that.
That would have been good.
I drove the fire truck, and so it definitely got a lot of attention when I pulled in. And so I was like, hey, I want to do this idea.
Beverly Hillbillies. You pull up in the fire truck. Yeah, did you give him? Give him a blast?
Bam, bam. Yeah,
hit him with a blast.
And so they put me before the city council meeting. I read a thing about how long I've known Steve when I met him at the radio station, giving back.
Nice.
I would, be so gracious if you would proclaim March 1st in Apopka Steve White Day to kind of leave his lasting stamp in the town. Even, after whatever happens to Porky's, that day will be known in the town as a dude that always gives back. And dude, they drafted the document immediately. Brian Nelson, the mayor, signed it. They stamped it. And then so not only did we present him with $10,000 free labor, a thing that everybody signed, you know what I mean? He thought it was just, we were meeting up there for friends and family night. I was bringing some friends in town. And then it was all his friends. And man, dude, he was full of emotion. I think we all were, and it's and then I thought it was just going to be, okay, yeah, we're done. And people instantly started reaching out. Hey, man, I want to help out. How can we help out? How can we do this? How can we do this? And so that's what we've been doing. We've been facilitating, lining this up for about 3 to 4 weeks. We're going to be doing this process. And we just need as much help as we can, whether it be gift cards, for materials, or if you've got a direct builder supply of something, or if you're a skilled labor in some sort of trade inside the restaurant industry,
That's
heating,
not
cooling.
Us. We're not
definitely.
We're not those guys.
And so anything.
I saw your eyebrows go up a little bit. Oh, excuse me, your microblades. I saw your microblades flutter a second, but that's not us, man. We're not going there.
He's like, I got a chop saw.
I got a quarter round.
Yeah, I'll bring it. It's upside down and backwards.
We get the word out, which is almost.
We're the word turds.
It's almost the most important.
It is the most important. What's the hardest to do because you have to have a finesse.
It is a very finesse.
If you could add our names to that plaque, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys
it doesn't have to be above Steve's name, but at least adjacent to it.
On the
can't be below, never below.
At the side, or in parentheses.
You could just put two Steve
parallel
White,
lines.
Yeah, two Steve White
because
and
of Tom
two Steve White, and to the two brave broadcasters
that risked it all.
That literally
I like
risked
that.
it all. When do we not risk it all, Gannon?
So again, is a GoFundMe still around? Tell people how they can donate, because I'm sure there's been tons of people that Steve's personally helped that they probably throw in $10.
100%. And so the GoFundMe, we actually closed that down. So we closed the GoFundMe to stroke check the $4,000 check to Steve. But if you want to donate, feel free to email me at oldkinderhookglass@gmail.com. Reach out to our phone number, 407-865-7417. Call Steve White. Just drop on by Steve White's place. Nothing would make that man more happier than you're going to buy a meal and then drop off a $25, $50, $100, $200, whatever $100 gift card you can do for Home Depot or Lowe's. It would mean the world to him. All of his staff kind of knows what's going on. And so it's a kind of like an open donation source. And we're going to kind of try to do this in like 3 to 4 weeks. You know what I mean?
Now, are we getting rid of the stools that make it look as if you're sitting on a small pig's ass?
I think we're going to amplify those.
I love those.
Do not get rid of those.
I was going to be... I'm being honest. If you were getting rid of them, I was going to ask to purchase them.
Because I would like them.
Because it's a part of of my Central Florida history
nostalgia.
of doing. Yeah, Steve is a part of my world. He's always been a part of my podcasting and radio world. Even like I said, family events he's catered. I want a pig stool if you're getting rid of them. If you're amplifying them, now I'm listening.
And so it's really up to, obviously it's up to Steve. You know, that's the thing is we wanted to
You
try
got
to
to get a pod and fill it full of all the pigs, right? You got to take all
we got
the
all the
pigs out.
pictures. We got a lot of stuff to take down before we start the process, but it's really about
all the race cars,
paying homage to the original Porky's and obviously giving it that new, Magic Man touch, and making it.
Oh, you got to put something crazy in there,
I've
like
got
a
some
fire
ideas.
pole.
Oh yeah,
Slides down.
we're gonna make something really cool.
You have a
unique there.
mermaid tank.
100%.
All right.
Having a mermaid tank.
All right, what about, I like that mermaid tank.
Like mermaid tank.
like
But it's a pig.
We could have
No,
Brendan.
it's a pig mermaid.
We could have Brendan teach Steve how to dress like a mermaid, and he can be the old smoking mermaid.
Wait, and then you
can smell our tails from a mile away.
You're in a tank of barbecue sauce.
Thin down, real thin. It's real.
Oh my God, the vinegar's burning my eyes.
And
In a tank of liquid smoke.
Speaking of barbecue sauce, what about a volcano? All right,
Yes,
that erupts.
No. I don't know. Like a Margaritaville vibe.
Yes,
where he's like,
and then
hey everybody, I think we're here.
It's Barbaritaville.
Yeah.
Sweet sauce explodes out of the top of it.
Barbecubaville.
Barbarita.
And then barbecue sauce
comes out. It's spraying everywhere.
It'll, you
gotta
it's
turn it
sticky in here. Why is it so sticky?
Turn it down a little bit. Can you please turn the sauce down? You just blew my wife's hat off.
So what kind of renovations? Is it a total rebuild?
Obviously, it depends on the budget that we produce. You know
all
what I mean?
glass.
And so
Do it all glass like an Apple store. All glass.
White.
Yeah. And just put Porky's, but it's like all. It's just Porky's.
What is that place in there? What is it?
Yeah, just digital. You walk in, you don't even smell smoke. You're like, is there barbecue here? And then they bring it out. It's awesome.
And so we would really like to, obviously do floor, ceiling tiles, all the stuff that update the bathrooms, all the stuff that basically makes a restaurant, impressive.
Barbecue bidet.
Ooh, now that's
you gotta spray that triple X out of there. Wash the beads out. I got beads in here. Help me get my beads out.
I like the way that sounds. Barbecue bidet. That just rolls good. It
Barbecue
does.
bidet sounds great.
That could be a new name of a new restaurant.
Could you put sauce in the bidet?
The sting. So again, I want to talk to you about having your son.
Oh my gosh.
It's coming.
I wanted to talk to y'all about having
the first
a kid.
thing he asked me, he was like, "Am I supposed to look at it when it's happening?" And I go, "No."
No, okay.
No,
you
you're
want to
not.
go over some? I'll give you some because
I did though.
Everybody's trying to shame me into like you need to be there for it. You need to be on that side and grab that baby. I'm like,
No.
But I will tell you something. I will tell you
professionals.
something. Even though I am the weakest in this room, I am the toughest mentally because I've seen it.
Because I've seen it.
But I'm not. I'm the weakest. But mentally, I am like I'm unmatched.
It's a fortitude.
I thought you were mentally ill.
I am mentally ill.
Yeah,
that goes with it. Yeah, that goes with it.
So never look at it. That's the number one thing.
Even if the doctor, because the doctor was like, Daniel, she was Spanish and beautiful with big ones, and she's like, Daniel, it's your baby. Come look at your baby. And it wasn't my baby. It was something coming out of my wife. It was
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah. Alien resurrections type. It's just like, what is that?
Yeah,
Just get the C-section. That's like if
that's what your buddy, the doctor, said.
Yeah. A doctor told me that a long time ago. I did not. My wife's like, no, whatever. And then I looked at.
They can cut under your armpit now and pull the baby
yeah,
out,
the
so you don't
whole-
even see the scar.
C-section.
Yeah, they don't even see the scar.
Yeah. And just get them circumcised. Don't don't go through this whole woke oh no, you're not cutting this off. Just do that. Do what everybody else does. It was way easier. Who cares?
All right, just do it.
Just do it. That's anyway.
Are you
are you gonna give him advice about doing the cut?
What cut?
Circumcision?
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
He said
just
don't.
Don't
He
cut
said,
anything.
he said do it.
Yeah,
he said
do-
get it done.
Do
Oh.
it. Yeah, I agree. For sure.
Yeah, just do the circumcision.
I mean, I'm uncircumcised, but you know, it would like
It's gross.
For whatever reason, mine worked out
look at that
fine.
thing.
He's out of his mind. This guy's traumatized by his son's penis.
Ooh.
I'm fine. I'm like, I don't know
what is
why
that? Just
mine
do
was
that.
not a deal. But you know what was different about mine is my dad. I don't even know we can talk about this.
We
My
can.
dad always kept his engaged.
No, come
fully
on.
engaged. So if it was
I don't know
back,
what you're
it was
talking
back.
about.
He put it back, so
No.
you didn't know. I didn't look any different than anybody else.
Come on. Never talk about
But
it.
then the doctor was like, "Put that thing down." And
So-
I'm like, "Why?"
Gannon.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Now that I've seen my sons grow up, because I've always admired the fact that you were a Renaissance man of you knew how to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since I met Gannon, like not only does he know how to do magic,
He's capable.
Hence the nickname Magic Man. He just knows how to do everything else. Like he's like. Anything you could possibly think of, like he could do. He's like, oh, I know how to weld. I know how to do Bondo. I know how to work on engines.
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
A life full of hard labor.
I can
It's
fix.
like-
I can
Yeah,
fix
yeah.
everything. I can build everything.
Yeah, I know how to
Sky's
do
the limit.
some plumbing, some light electrical. What
Yeah.
do you need? I can do.
You know what I can do? I can go on the internet.
Yeah.
I can find a person. You know,
Found
I
you.
can throw
I
some
can-
money at it. I can. They'll see me. They're like, "You're mentally ill." I'm the strongest because I've seen it.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So then, from knowing Gannon for so many years, I'm like, how did you learn all this stuff? Like you know how to do everything. And he's like, I learned from my dad. Like my dad knew
So
how to
what
do
are you
all this
teaching
stuff.
your boys?
And then I learned. Okay, well, follow me. with this.
I don't want to follow you here.
So I'm like, I learned from my dad, and this is how I learned how to do all this stuff. Like he knew, like I wandered into the mechanic shop, and he taught me how to do this.
Come over here, boy. Hold this.
Hold that flashlight.
I saw him.
Yeah,
I saw him doing some carpentry, and I just learned. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And
I
then,
saw my dad get fired and cry under the piano.
And then when and this was before I had kids, and I remember telling myself, well, if I ever have sons, I'm going to teach them how to do all
The
this
things
stuff.
that I do.
Even
Like,
though I don't know how to do it.
How's it going?
Well, I'll tell you how it's going.
I have a list of things here. I will teach my sons. That's why I got what I needed. I got a girl. What can I teach her? Nothing.
And then
Teach her nothing.
And
Because I have nothing to teach. Perfect scenario.
But here's why I feel better about teaching them nothing. Because is that I realized over, my son's about to turn 9.
yeah, you're
oldest,
observing. You're
Tommy.
watching them. Every day you watch them and observe.
It's wild watching y'all's kids grow up, because I see all
know.
these posts. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they're like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
turning into people.
I know.
Yeah, they're no longer
starts
kids.
Maisie starts her second semester of Michigan State.
Yeah, exactly. Go
Yeah,
Wolverines.
yeah,
Yeah.
It just shows you how close you are to dying. That's what it's saying.
Like,
Because you're
oh,
like,
wow,
yeah.
they're older. I mean, I'm closer to death.
Yeah. It's like that much time has passed.
I can see the end.
So anyway, back to why I feel better about them not learning how to do any of this
taught them
stuff.
something.
I taught them nothing. Is because they never wanted to learn this whole time.
Yeah.
Even if I did know how to do
So you're
the stuff
saying not capable, so
no.
dodged a bullet.
It's just what your father had was probably the super being inquisitive and being like wanting to learn how to do that stuff. Hence, he learned.
Zest
and
for
then
learning.
when you were born with that trait of wanting to learn all this stuff, and then therefore you did it, and not because he was doing it and then you learned
So
all
this
it.
is more of you leaning into the they're this
Yeah.
way. Why
Because
bother? Okay.
I've done lots of stuff. My sons have never wandered over and say like, "Hey, teach me how to do." They've never. And I tried to. I'm like, come here, boy. I'm gonna teach you how to. I'm like, no.
We don't want to learn how to change the pool filter, Dad.
I mean, I hate to say
nothing.
this, but maybe that's you, because Maisie will wander over to me and ask about everything that I do. And I'm like, get
that's
out of
good.
here.
No, that's good. I'm just saying, well, you have to
Do
have.
you yell at your kids enough?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
'cause
He's a
that's
heavy
what-
hand.
That's what kind of got me. I was like, oh man, if I don't do this right, I'm gonna be in trouble. And so yeah.
Oh, so
your dad forced you to do it?
Oh, it was.
Smacking
That's
your
what I
horse.
was gonna
Oh,
say. I
yeah.
was like, you're making assumptions
Yeah,
that he
no,
wanted
no,
to learn.
yeah, no. I did not want to learn.
God,
I
I'm
was
weak.
forced.
So you were abused into talent.
Okay.
Oh God!
Oh, look at all these skills I have. I was tortured to learn all this.
Yeah,
Oh, poor
I
me.
can weld because I was hit.
Oh,
Meh,
okay.
meh.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
got it.
It's,
No, but and then also
abuse.
too,
I knew it.
I did ask a lot of questions when I was younger, but the main thing was my dad didn't want to raise no chump. You know what I mean? That was, I think, his whole thing. He's
Write
like,
that down. Write that down.
I ain't gonna raise no chump.
Double jump.
Two chump.
Oops, all chumps.
Jumps.
Chump 2024.
Are we making that shirt?
Well played. Well played.
Okay. I didn't know that your dad just forced you to do it. I just assumed
I
you
feel
wanted
like that
over.
was most real dads,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
They
yeah,
forced you to
yeah.
do
Hold that
things,
flashlight straight. I'll tell you right now. You're like, whoa, okay, and you're shaking, and then
A
you're like,
little higher,
you start
dickhead.
you look off, and then you start drifting with the flashlight. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
He's
I don't-
shaking.
Well, my dad was a diesel mechanic, and like all he did is is a really good mechanic.
That would have been good for you to learn.
But I never learned.
Not even a tiny bit.
How do you learn diesel mechanics? That's just,
I don't know.
that is a very. I mean, I can do automotive stuff, but like diesel, even my fire truck, they're like, "What, you got a 12?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a diesel engine in there," and they're like this and that. I'm like, I have no idea, man. It's you put diesel in it, and it
and it drives around. It's a fire truck.
That's what it
The
is.
spark plugs just glow red the whole time. No spark.
I don't understand the system, but it works.
I don't know.
It's been around for forever and probably will.
Anyway, so will you torture your son to learn everything?
I think I'm gonna give him a little bit of the torture creed.
Okay,
You know,
all
like
right.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants. You know, his mama's a painter.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's
He's
how
like,
the jump.
He's
Yeah. I mean, when I heard his
You got a
mama's
force.
a painter, which is awesome and everything, but you don't think? I think, man, you are very talented at art too.
I know, but I mean,
You don't
I'm
think
doing
he's
the
gonna-
glass fire. I can't like fire him up
Any
at 2
mus-
years old to start
any
the
music?
glass one.
You guys got any-
I play the harmonica.
Harmonica,
Yeah. And so
I-
he's gonna be. I feel like he's gonna be set up to not be a chump, but we'll find out. I mean, you know, what I mean? I gotta try it out.
So, Gannon,
I just realized I'm a chump.
am I?
God.
Because I started recently as I transitioned to an
To an
old
old
man.
chump.
To an old chump.
Dumb old chump.
Whistler from Blade,
Right,
just looking
buy
older.
That, buy that URL, dumb old chump.
yeah. As I transitioned to dumb old chump, I start really like I'm like I need to learn more how to do more stuff. You know,
I
what
can
I'm saying?
barely
Too
put.
late.
You know what? Too
Okay,
late.
but
Yeah, I can I tell you something? I can barely put a hose on a spigot. That's how handy I am.
It's like
I
righty,
can
tighty.
barely- yeah.
Oh, you've been working on your scooter.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I've seen you,
I'm
man. I've
joking.
seen
Yeah.
you stripping that scooter down, man. I've seen you been doing
I,
some stuff.
I enjoy it. I really do. And you're right. When you do that kind of stuff, unlike what we
You're
like
fulfilled.
in this world, there's no fulfillment in this world. When I
Sorrow,
leave here,
sorrow.
when I leave here, I'm empty. I'm
Yeah,
empty
yeah.
like a.
I give it all every day.
I'm empty like a Rubbermaid trash can.
Yeah. This what we do is you like there's no there's no skill to it.
No.
There's
Skill.
It's not.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
We're just
How?
talking.
How
Wow.
did
People
this
go, like,
happen?
oh, you guys have such great chemistry. You do. I'm like, I don't know. I just go there. I talk to this guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a chump, man.
My chemistry's rotten, and his brain chemistry's rotten.
Together we make one normal person.
No,
No, we don't.
Not even.
Dude,
not
no,
even
two
that.
stinky chumps.
Anyway, so I've been wanting to learn how to do this stuff, but
What do you want to learn? Throw one up there.
just like tile work.
That's a
like,
hard one.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Tile's hard.
No, you don't. Don't you dare.
You're gonna be the guy where you're gonna put the little things in there, the little separators.
But here's the
and you're
problem:
gonna line it all up, and then you have the tile saw.
is it from?
Oh, you gotta get that thing that looks like the. You remember the thing at Spencer's? You'd put your hand in.
The needle thing.
Yeah, the needle thing,
Contour.
right? But now guys are using it. Like I'm gonna use it in the corner. Then they do it, and then they like
contour line,
yeah,
like
and then they
scriber.
draw out the tile, and then they cut it all perfectly. Do you want to do that? That's pretty cool.
Here's the problem. It's the reality is the problem. Is because
Yes, you are 100% right on that.
It's because I've known Gannon for 15 years, and I remember like when Gannon was doing work 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and then what he can do now. and he's gotten better,
Oh, yeah,
just like
yeah.
everything else.
I look back on 15 years, I'm like, hey,
Ganna's been to my house before, and he's like, "What? Who the hell did this?"
He's like, you did this. I was like, oh, Christ, I did do this.
Yeah, and it's something you did 10 years, and he's like, "Oh, I know a lot more now." Of course you do, because you've been doing it for 10 years. You know, it's like someone telling me, like, my age, be like, "I'm going to start a podcast, and one day I'll be as good as you." Like, no, you won't.
No, you won't.
It's
No, you
impossible
will not.
because I've been doing it for 20 years or whatever. Daniel,
That's true.
And
That's
then you can't get as good because you don't have enough time. So even if I tried to start learning now,
why bother?
To me, it's a why bother, because what am I going to do? SE tile work for in my own house, where I could have just hired someone
Well, if it's
that has
satisfying to you,
25
right?
years. If fulfilling, I guess.
If it satisfied some sort of
Need
knowledge,
to know, but then it's like, well, why am I even trying if someone else is been doing it for a long time? Just hire the professional, and maybe my time is.
Do you ever hire anybody for
gone.
anything?
Absolutely, all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
All
Like,
right.
the thing is, it's time. You just said it perfectly. That's the thing that we all lack the most is the time, right? And then you get involved in a project, and if you don't do it every day, you're like, this is really turning on me. And then you're doing it for weeks on end. And so if I'm doing something especially in my home, or if I'm on a job, I bring in I have a crew of subs that's all they do. I got a wood guy. I got a tile guy. I got drywall guys.
And they do it fast.
Faster than anything you've ever seen, and better and more proficient than any way I could ever possibly do. You can never beat his man at his own game. But it's still good to know that stuff, because you can be like, if someone's trying to roll the smoke on you, you're like, oh yeah, that's $5,000.
Hold on, what does that mean? I'm a chump. I feel like there's smoke rolling over me at all times.
Constantly smoke screens.
I feel like, where am I?
And so it's just good to know common sense about things. But I will honestly say, trial and error, guys. Trial and error.
What's the worst thing you've ever gone to do or skill, and then you're like, I can't do this, but you wanted to try and do it?
Didn't you build Shaq's fish tank?
Yeah.
So Tank.
Did you know that?
No.
So he built Shaquille O'Neal's fish tank.
Not fish tanks.
Yeah. There's a picture of him standing there. The Shaq's like in his pajamas, like a black wife beater or something. I've seen this.
So Tank built his fish tank. I built Shaq's snake cage, like a snake.
Hold on a second. That sounds way better. I built Shaquille O'Neal's snake cage.
How did that come to fruition?
So my buddy Keith Scott, man, I've known him my whole life since
Sounds
third
like
grade.
a gay innuendo.
That's a big ass cage.
Can you come over and build this? No. And so he basically called me up one day. He's like, he did work for Shaq's nephew, and so Shaq's nephew would always like sub out jobs. He had a custom car audio shop, and so he would always have Shaq's cars in there, and anything that was like really kind of custom.
I remember when he had that dragon bike where the bike came over him.
Dude, he has everything.
And it was like a motorcycle, and he would drive it up to the Roxy.
And so, he just basically
ridiculous.
Said, hey, man, I want to do, I got an F-250. I want to move the seat into the back seat so I can fit in it and drive. And so I went and did that for him. And then we fixed one of his RVs for him. And then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, he wants a snake cage.
I want a place to put my snake.
I want to put it in there. We want a big old snake.
Hey, get it, Magic Man. Hey, build me a snake cage, a big ass snake, and put a big ass snake in there.
I don't know if we ever talked. What is a grown ass man millionaire doing with a snake?
So he didn't even want to touch the snakes.
This guy hates fun. This guy hates fun. If I were a millionaire, you bet your ass I'd have some snakes.
Why?
They're terrifying snakes. I hate
You have them
snakes.
everywhere. You have birds, snakes.
I'm like the
When you get
Indiana
rich-
Jones.
When you get rich, you need strange animals to show other chumps that you're rich.
Yeah, and not a chump.
Yeah,
Dude,
look
if you
at my
own a snake
parrot.
cage, you're not a chump.
You're
obviously,
not. Exactly.
obviously.
Like, look at my parrot, you chump.
And it was massive. It was 10 foot by 2 foot by like 3 foot. It was a massive.
Did you put these
I didn't
Superman
put-
logos in there?
Yeah, it had a nice Superman logo down at the base of it. It was
Hell
like,
yeah.
It was like his snake cage. You know what I mean?
I'm like,
super
this
snake.
is what a 13-year-old boy does.
Hey,
Put a Superman
No, that's
logo
a
on your
hamster.
snake
That's
cage.
a hamster.
Listen to this.
Snakes
You
are
think
for-
that's funny?
Snakes are for top tier athletes.
So the top of it, we put like, I've never built, obviously, who builds snake cages? So we put this chicken wire on the top, like routed
Chicken
in.
wire? Well, that's your problem. Should got snake
Well,
wire.
no, it was
you
really
idiot.
small, like the small little,
This
like
guy's dumb.
real. Oh, so listen, hey, 3 o'clock in the morning. We get a phone call. Hey, snakes out. Snakes out of the cage. Y'all need to go get that thing. And the snake went in there and literally put his face in between that chicken wire, scratched his face up,
Oh,
but
dumbass thing, you stupid idiot.
slithered his way out of this snake cage. And I'm like, Oh my God!
You got
And
a bloody snake?
He had like a couple little scratches. He was fine. And then
Okay.
Where'd you find him?
I think he was halfway
Oh my
out
God.
of this thing, and then
Found him in Penny Hardaway's closet.
his chef, Alex, he's a good friend of mine too. He comes out, and that's when he's like, he called up Steve, like, "Hey man,
Hey, Mamma
hey,
Mia!
hey, the snake's
snake in the pantry.
the snake's out, man!" And it was a big white, like terrifying looking.
I've been trying to make a pizza in here. There's a snake in the pantry.
That's the bizarro life of Shaquille
Yeah,
O'Neal.
what the hell?
And so yeah, I
You
showed
know,
up the next day.
This is stuff that Gannon did when he wasn't as good as what he is. Like he's established now. This is back when he was a wild man.
You're
100%.
Right? Am I right?
A
Yeah,
wild
you're a
man,
wild
just
man.
making it happen.
yeah.
And so yeah, we got it.
I got stories I can't tell you about Gannon.
Yeah, there are a lot of wild ones. There are a lot.
I remember one time standing at your house or a house you owned at the time when you had taken an engine and built it was a machine that would drag a skier across a lake.
Oh yeah, and we launched you. I
Yes.
just told that story of when we threw you at the dew tour and you separated your shoulder.
It looked like
I'm so paying for that.
steampunk. It looked like steampunk garbage. It's like a big thing, and it had like a
It's like a winch.
Yeah, and it was a winch, and it would drag you. He could build anything he wants.
He wanted to get launched off a big wheel, doing like 25 off a kicker at the dew tour, and we did it. I was like, "Hey man, this thing can really launch." He goes, "Go full speed."
That thing was
I was
awesome.
like, "All right," and yeah.
It's amazing they just let us do this, by the way.
I cannot. I was telling him that. I was like, they let us walk in there with no skill, no certifications. He's like, "Hey, can you build me a ramp for the Predators thing?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like he goes, "I want a ramp that just sends you to the moon." I said, "Okay." I built it. We walk it out there, and then the safety guys are all looking at us like, "Are you guys ready to go?" I'm like, "Are you guys ready to go?" I have no idea.
Yeah. No one had any idea.
Yeah, it's
You
just-
including me? Just like put it out there.
Well, because you're radio famous, man.
Who's
You're like,
in
"Oh,
charge?"
this guy's professional. Oh, he's got the pro, the safety crew," and it was
You
really
still
just
got
me.
Shaq's number?
I still can get in touch with him for
Let's
sure.
call him right now.
That's the last time you'll ever.
Yeah, like how dare
the
y'all
number
talk
will
about
not
me.
work.
He shows up at my house. "Hey, I heard y'all were making fun of me at the radio station."
Has he sold that house over there yet?
I believe he sold. I think he
did
did
he
sell
sell
it.
it?
I think he did
Okay,
sell it. He's
yeah.
living up in Atlanta now. Yeah,
Everybody is.
they're great people, man. Like, by the way, that like they are hands down. Like, people's got stories of Shaq.
Everybody says he's awesome.
He is
So
one of the
nice.
most genuinely nice guys.
Yep.
Steve, his whole family, everyone there, chef. Everyone is just like so nice, down to earth, realistic. Not this like I'm the richest man in the world or whatever. It's just the most laid back environment you would ever think. You'd think it'd be like, "Oh man, you got to make all this." He's just so cool.
I mean, Papa John's is his now, right?
Yeah, I think he owns like
Basically.
a lot of those. Yeah, and some other new chicken
shouldn't
place
they just
too.
change it to Papa Shack's or something and just like get that stigma
Dude.
off of there and just change the name?
The
We
guy-
all know what it
Shack's.
is. Yeah, just call it Shack's.
The guy is a down low, insane businessman.
Owns everything.
What he's
Pants,
what
car
he-
washes,
J.C. Penney,
Yeah.
he owns like
smart stuff.
dude,
Stuff
big
stuff that he knows is gonna like on the DL make a ton of money and he'll just invest in it slowly. And,
insane.
That's got to be some sort of influence from his.
He loves it.
His drill sergeant stepdad.
He kind of. I've heard him interviewed. He talks about it like a hobby, though, kind of like you and gambling. It's no different. It's like he
wins,
enjoys-
you lose, though. It's
Yeah,
like it's
okay.
the only thing
I wasn't going to say that part.
different.
I was going to say that, but that was very
How
chumpy.
dare you.
That was a very chumpy thing to say. Why would you do that? It's not nothing to you to help promote.
He needs a little bit of awareness. Gambling is a very addictive sport.
Are you warning him? Or are you giving him a warning?
No, you just know how to. You need to.
Have you
know
been
how to
scaring
do it.
yourself lately?
No, I've been winning in the XFL. The
Just bet
the new
against
sports.
Orlando.
Ah, yeah.
No, Orlando Guardians won this week. I've been on the other guys on the BDM gambling page. Have been we've been talking. We bet on Orlando plus 8.5 this week. They covered that.
Nice.
Wow.
But
I'm surprised with all the quarterback. You've heard all that mess.
Yeah.
That's a mess.
Was the quarterback giving
Yes.
plays to other teams, but for what reason?
Don't know.
Was it just as they were openly talking about it, or is he trying to sabotage his own team?
I didn't read enough of the story.
Yeah.
The headline-
I want to know the intention.
Yeah. Sam, if you can look that up, the Fardians are in trouble again. The
Well-
Orlando Fardians, because apparently one of the quarterbacks, he was released, and because there's like giving quarterback plays to
Other teams,
and
He sold.
Yeah, that's what I was like. He didn't give. I was like, nobody gives that away. That's a sell.
yeah.
That's
So he sold it and so obviously
$65. I'll give you the next play.
$65. That's a good deal.
I wonder what his salary is. Because now you're talking
know.
like there used to be a thing like
He was our second quarterback, right? Our first guy, he's hurt, and then this guy was our backup.
Yeah, and now it's old. What's his name? I was just watching the game over the weekend, but there used to be a thing of like you could never get into the pocket of any NFL player just because everybody gets paid so much that there's no way you could ever pay someone off to lose a game. It's hard anyway, unless you're a kicker or a quarterback. But in those two instances, your salary's too much for them to ever. What would they offer you to throw a game? You know what I'm saying? And then you couldn't get that much down.
Right.
But with the XFL, I think you could. Like, obviously, this guy's selling plays.
Well, it seems that he has been reinstated into the XFL.
Really?
Yeah, because he must have been a hubbub because he put his Instagram on private, right? Like when it all broke. And then I noticed this morning when I went to dig up a little more information on it, Sam's right. He was back to normal.
It says the league is actively reviewing a personnel issue regarding a player on the Orlando Guardians who was released from the team yesterday afternoon. Additional information on the situation was brought to the attention of the league overnight, and the league has reinstated the player while it conducts a formal investigation into the issue.
Just sounds like they need to get their stuff together.
Maybe they had to reinstate him until they completed the investigation so they don't get sued.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, you got a job.
I don't know.
Right now.
We did it too fast.
Yeah.
Put him back on until we do our due diligence.
Because there's no way they need this guy to play if there's, you know what I'm saying?
I
There's
wonder how
other
much money it
quarterbacks.
was. I wonder how much money it was.
I know, man. That's what I'm interested in too.
It comes clean. It's like, it was three $50 gift cards to Boston Market and $28. You're
Hold on
like,
a
what in the
second.
world?
I love their meatloaf carver.
I love Boston
Oh,
Market.
Meatloaf
dude.
Carver is
dude.
legit.
Boston Market. It's the home team. I mean, you literally can't go wrong there.
I like having a regular plate when I go there.
It's so delicious.
Because there could be a bunch of value in the fact that if you did sell the plays and then someone else, the fact that you did that, and if someone knew, you could get down with enough accounts a good amount of money. Everybody has XFL as a option for gambling and offshore accounts,
Right.
and then like in Vegas and stuff. And with enough different people's accounts, you could probably get
Do
down
pretty well, yeah.
a good amount, maybe six figures spread across enough. And then if you knew that this guy was selling the plays and this team was going to lose, it'd be a pretty big payday. So
Yeah.
it could be worth something. I don't know.
It's actually it's a much bigger whole conspiracy is about to come out. It's like, this was a huge thing. You're like, oh my gosh.
Well, when the players aren't getting paid that much,
Yeah.
then
You can change-
it does
you can
open
manipulate
up,
things,
Yeah, it does open up, that kind of nefarious activity where it's like it may be advantageous to.
Have you guys been to a game yet? I haven't been
No,
yet.
there's only 5 home games total.
Yeah.
So there's 10 games.
We
in
have
the
a
season.
section,
We're going
there.
April 2nd.
I want to go check that out with you guys.
Yeah.
Can I buy a ticket for that section?
Yeah. If
Perfect.
you go on TomandDan.com,
Perfect.
we got a deal with them that we got a
We'll
little.
give you one.
We got
I'll
a
give
Tom and Dan section. Yeah.
No, we definitely. I've seen it. I'm like, man, I got to check this out. You know what I mean?
$25. Yeah. It will having some a team in Orlando.
It's
is
awesome.
Cool,
It's
yeah.
cool, man. I don't know why it's taken so long for this to really actually happen. You know what I mean? Like.
They've it seems like throughout the years they never treated it like it should have been treated, like a NFL farm league or like
I think the NFL was afraid of that, right? Because everybody coming up wanted to always compete with them, never to do a minor league version. Every other sport has minor leagues and they work successfully. Some minor league teams in cities actually are the big deal there. Like
100%.
some minor league teams prop up the entire city, make a ton of money, millions of dollars.
Well, think about how big the NFL is now comparative to remember when the USL, that one league was trying to compete with the NFL, and then they had the strike happen, and then there was almost.
Oh yeah.
Remember, there's the whole rumor that Trump is the one
was
that
he was part of that.
The one that he was a part owner, but also he pushed too hard to go directly against the NFL, and it was a bad
I
move
remember
in the
that.
fact that the NFL won. But there was a time where a league could come up and compete with the NFL. Now it's impossible. The NFL is so big, no one's competing with them ever.
Something would have
ever
to
again.
happen with the NFL, and I don't see that happening. But
No.
something would have to happen. To
But now having a minor league makes sense. It's
Yeah.
there's players that I recognize.
Yeah, I saw
like
names I knew.
Yeah,
It's got to be much more entertaining than just because they're putting themselves out there to try to make a way into the big league. So it's like just like with college ball, when you watch college football, it's like it's so passionate. So you have no idea what's going to happen because it's just like they're like, all right, well, may not live tomorrow. Might as well just hit as hard as I can today, you know?
Although then you also you're mixed in with a bunch of players that were on a practice squad or were in the NFL and then got demoted, and then those guys
jaded.
Oh yeah.
Pissed off.
So it's guys trying to
probably
make
a lot of extremes. I would imagine.
No
gray area here.
Which is not probably good for the cohesiveness
I
of a
think
team.
that's why our coach was losing his goddamn mind. He's flipping out because he's like, I got guys that want to play and won't come out. I got guys that got big fat tub of crap just sitting here not doing anything. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it makes for once it settles down, it might get better.
Yeah.
I think you got to get a season. Yeah, you got to get at least one.
Got to get them 5 home games in.
I don't expect anything right now. People are so mean. They're like, oh, they look terrible. I'm like, dude, do you understand how hard it is to start from jump?
Yeah, give it a shot. That's what I mean. It's like,
oh my god,
this whole entire league was invented 8 months ago. They've only been playing together
you gotta
for
give
months.
Them 5 years. I've always hated this with head coaches. They put a head coach in there for like 6 months. And they're like, he was terrible. I'm like, no, my god.
Yeah, you got to give them a little bit of time. Same thing, with Orlando City. I remember going to those games when they first came to town. It was just this little thing, and then when you go to a home team, like a home game, it's like, dude, it's incredible inside that arena there. It's like, and that's hopefully that's what they do with that. It'd be really cool to get that built.
So, Gannon, when does this project start? Because I imagine Steve has to close down Porky's for a small amount of time. So that's an issue, too, is like getting it done fast. Which is why you're looking for people that can help you out, right?
Are you documenting this at all?
We're definitely gonna film it when we do it. Like we've been like taking pictures and all the stuff that we've been got going on like behind the scenes. But like when we actually go in, we're gonna do
the move that bus.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do something really
move
cool
that
like
fire
that.
truck.
Yeah, move that fire truck. Yeah. And so we're gonna try to start it in like 3 to 4 weeks. That's our game plan. When you guys hear this, it'll be like 3 weeks from this point. But like I said, if you're skilled in any labor position in the restaurant remodeling business, heating, cooling, cooking appliances, anything like that, you'd like to donate anything, feel free to reach out.
Koi pond. Needs a koi pond like Kobe in the front.
Concrete. Literally.
I'm an idea guy. Look, I'm an idea guy. If you guys want this to be rinky-dink, that's fine. But you're going to need some ideas from old Danny Chump over here. You're going to need a koi pond in the front.
I like a good
with
koi
pond.
pond.
With a little wooden bridge that has a sign on it that says, don't walk.
I definitely would like to get,
I said it like that.
I would like to get some sort of sign that smokes, like a pork's butt or something that's out there in the front. Like, the novelty smoke gas.
Like that bar, I think it's out of business. There's a bar in Winter Park that all these old MILFs used to hang out at. And it was like Beluga or something, and it would like the sign would.
Yeah, I think you need a smoking sign.
And it would mist up like it was smoke, and I was like, oh my god, look at those MILFs.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, feel free to reach out to me, oldkinderglass@gmail.com or Steve at Porky's Barbecue. Drop off any gift cards you have. Spread the word as much as you guys can. This guy's a great guy. He's been giving back for 20 plus years, and I mean giving back in big ways. And so this is just a way. Nothing's wrong with him. I just want everybody to know nothing's wrong with him or his business. We're just trying to rally around a guy that's been given.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, hey, you've helped everybody out.
That's what's wrong,
is
that you have to find something wrong to do something nice for people.
It's so crazy.
When did we
everybody
start
asks.
doing that?
Yeah.
By the way, Steve would never ask for this ever.
No.
Like,
Never. And like he was so blown away by me speaking on his behalf down there. And the reality, I was like, man, this was the easiest thing for me to do, speak on your behalf, man. People started instantly talking about you. You've got 20 plus years of giving back, and it's like, that's easy to do, get people rallied around that, because it's like other people like, who's this guy? What's going on?
What if we put a dispensary beside it?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Man, double whammy. Never leave. It's a vicious circle. So just keep walking around in a circle.
Call it all the smoke.
Old Kinderhook, too. Everything's still going well.
Dude, unbelievable. We just partnered up with Orlando Science Center.
I saw you at the Science Center. You had a long line of people.
We had a very great opportunity. They saw us in Sanford at events. Actually, we're doing Pints and Pauls this year, so we'll be set up blowing glass.
Awesome.
He saw us out there. Jesse did, and then they reached out. They wanted us to blow glass somehow in the Science Center. We figured out how to do it on the rooftop terrace, did it for Science Night Live. We'll be at all the Science Night Lives for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's dope.
Doing some kids' workshops with some cold glass downstairs in the Hive workshop. And we're actually going to be talking with them to permanently bring on glass blowing lessons inside their building as a permanent staple inside there. They really were super nice and kind of welcoming. And from there, it's kind of just blossom into this cool relationship. Yeah,
awesome.
man. My dad actually built the radius beams of that building. And so,
really?
Yeah, dude. I was standing on top of the beams talking to kids about science and glass on top of the beams my dad created. It's just really cool, man. It's just a really, really cool experience.
That's my dad sold tax guides to accountants. He's dead. If I stood, I guess I could stand on some of his old tax guys.
Sit on the drive. Sorry. All right, Gannon. I appreciate it. Thanks
for having me in, guys. I really appreciate it, man.
You so mean he is to me.
Tortures you.
Yeah.
Just like my dad did learn all my skills. Torture.
I'm trying to help you.
Be better.
I'm trying to help you. All right. We'll be right back.
That was funny. Thanks for coming in, man.
Dude, thanks for having me, guys.
We're still on Twitch and YouTube, though, just to let you know. All right, where's that go?
Monday 1 and 2.
Awesome, guys.
Do we have anything for Monday?
We should have a 28-minute segment for segment 3.
And then, we just got to do a 12-minute.
That was the old Selena versus Haley
Oh,
talk.
Yeah. Yes. That was good.
That was awesome, guys. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Y'all want to get a quick photo, and
Yeah,
I'll let y'all guys
it.
get back to living life.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Whew, it gets a little hot in here.
I had that sweater on, and so I was like, man, my pits are getting sweaty. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
you
just
just gotta ride it out. That's all you gotta do.
it's this
ride those
thing.
sweaty
We gotta
pits
come
out.
in here and let this thing see us.
Oh, awesome. How's life, guys? Everything good?
Good. Yeah. I'm leaving Colorado.
Oh shit, Derek Carr at the Saints.
All right. That makes sense.
I think I'm gonna go out Telluride in like 2 weeks.
Get me to grab your dick.
Awesome.
I tripped and I was like,
guys, it's a pleasure. Dude, we'll see you guys soon, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
buddy.
you guys.
Anything to see you.
Yeah, man. If anybody's reached out, just kind of push them our way. Sam's always a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, thank y'all. I can't thank y'all.
Anytime, man.
He really says thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Tremendously, guys.
No problem.
Thanks, guys. We'll see
It's
y'all
gonna be
soon.
super fun, man. We'll see you soon. What are we doing now?
Just 12-minute Monday 4.
And then right after that we'll have the Weird Job on Zoom.
Okay, get Zoom going. I might have to help Andrea this afternoon. We'll be done by 3:15, you think?
Yeah.
I might have to help her take Dan's me to the veterinarian. Okay. Got it. Do 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 do. What is that?
Proudly made in the USA.
Oh, that's cool. It's expensive as fuck. God damn. I bet it works though. I know a lady that had one of these, but I think she made it. Okay, we are good.
I don't know if it's a knot or a pinched nerve or what it is. How do you know
You
the
can't
difference?
feel. You'll feel a knot and it'll
yeah, I don't
move.
really
It'll
feel
be like
that.
your skin will sit on top of it. It almost feel like a fat deposit, but it's not. You can tell, and it'll be achy if you poke on it. Andrea gets them.
I
like
mean, I've had one of those in my shoulder, but like, this is something different.
This sounds like a nerve thing because of how
I slept
stiff you
wrong,
are.
yeah.
You're literally like when I get it in my hips, and then you guys. I did it with Gannon. I can't move.
Yeah.
And you can't move. There's
Yeah.
no flexibility.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's a knot. All right, buddy. What do you?
Let's talk about Travis Kelce's suit. I sent you a picture.
I did. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me open that.
Because
up.
it's a nothing, but it's also
funny.
it
I
happened
love
over.
stuff like that.
Because I want to talk to you guys about fashion and
Really? Okay.
what the reason. Like
Did you text it or?
I sent an email.
I get so many freaking emails. There it is. Save attachment. Today's top. And then let me see if I can open it. Over here.
I guess it would have probably been easier just to have you look it on the internet.
It's fine, dude. Totally fine. It's just
Perfectly fine.
I'm trying to find it. What's that one called? Preview. Where is it? I don't see preview. I'm gonna have to find a different way to do this because this doesn't always work.
No, it's fine. I mean, people could see it.
Hold on, let me try this. I'm doing this wrong for you. Browser, image slideshow, create new. I'm sorry, buddy. This is not.
No. It's easier just to open up the browser, right? Or because it's on. If you just search Google, it's on the first thing.
But I can probably do it like this. There we go. There it is. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go in 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So, Travis Kelce hosted SNL over the weekend.
I don't understand that. Is he, and I'm not yucking on anybody's yum, is he entertaining enough to be a host on Saturday Night Live?
They bring sports stars on, and I think it's the fish out of water. Like
Right.
They're trying their hardest. So I think they just get the best personality.
Right,
they
and he
can.
is one of the better ones, I'll say.
He did a good job.
Okay,
It was
I'll
a little
have to go back and watch
awkward.
it.
It was a little awkward. Obviously, when there's a professional actor or comedian, it's always better because they are better. It's
Sure.
just I think, and they may have asked him to do a little too much, and I kind of like it better when the other cast members take over and they just put him as a
that way you get a quality show and he's just kind of along for the ride.
Gronk's done it. It's funny,
Yeah.
the tight ends. I wonder how many if you look back at
Tight ends are goofy.
NFL positions that have athletes positions that have hosted Saturday Night Live, obviously a bunch of quarterbacks, but wonder what other positions besides quarterback. It seems like just tight end.
Has any wide receiver ever hosted?
I don't think so. I think it's Gronk did it. Kelsey now. I think Peyton Manning. Obviously.
Any running backs ever done it?
No. Not the running backs. They can't do it.
No?
Some of them are good talkers, though. The running backs, like you get some really good ones, and then you get some real dumb.
Yeah. I don't know how good they do at this. Anyway.
Ricky Williams would have been good. Emmett
he
Smith's
probably
pretty
would've
good. You know, those guys. Barry
Emmitt Smith
Sanders, pretty good.
May have done it. I don't know.
Emmett Smith's good. I don't think he did it. I think you're right. I think it's been only quarterbacks.
Anyway, so he hosted this, and he comes out, he's doing his monologue or whatever, and he's wearing this coral colored suit, right? Which is fine. And
like a lady's suit. It's like what your grandma would wear.
Well,
it's very Cam Newton, right? Why are you wearing that?
I was looking, and
like a
then
fool.
Daniel's got it up on Twitch now, but I was like, what's hanging out from under?
It's a sash. It's like what your grandma would have. It's a sash.
And is it a sash or is it part of the suit jacket?
It's part. I think it's part of the suit jacket, but it's like a tie. I think you would have in the front of like a lady's polyester. That looks like a woman's polyester suit that some grandma would have worn.
So obviously, Travis Kelce, if you're hosting Saturday Night Live, it's a rare thing.
But
that's
he
an
thinks
honor
he's
to,
like a fashion man. He's always wearing the big super googly.
like Cam Newton. He's doing
and he looks like a fool. But hey, if you like it, you like it. But you look like an idiot.
But what is this? And who is it?
He likes the Flash.
Is it a famous fashion influencer or person that convinced him to wear this particular suit with the sash thing?
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
It's a look at me. I'm like he loves the attention, and he's always wearing I think.
So it's just an attention thing,
Yeah.
and he's doing this specifically to be like, this is a new trend. Is it even
People
a new
are
trend?
making jokes on Twitter that it's his sleeve for his D.
Okay.
An extra arm sleeve for his D.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a D sleeve.
But I always just try to figure out like what's the motivation behind him doing this.
He's a fashion guy.
He likes
though.
fashion. Yeah, he's a
But it
fashion
makes
guy.
sense.
Is this
he
a
wears
fashion-
Gucci furry. In that one interview on the Super Bowl, he had on like a full Gucci furry sweater, and I'm like, you look like an idiot, but you're into fashion. I get it.
But what is this? Is this a trend or is this just something avant-garde?
Yeah, it's something avant-garde.
Yes.
Not a trend.
Okay,
This is not a trend. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna.
There's
go
no men's suits
no.
that have this
If you
anywhere.
run the
Okay.
streets of London, Savile Row,
Okay.
and you're looking at handmade suits, yes, that's gonna be there, but it's gonna be like the 0.051%.
It was double-breasted as it featured 2 lapels, 2 button-downs, and another sleeve within the sleeve. So it's
stupid.
just making a
Yeah,
fashion
it's just
statement. No one's
dumb.
wearing this out
No.
anyway.
Okay. See, well, that's why.
With a black T-shirt, you look like an idiot.
That's why I'm confused with fashion, because when I see this, I assume it's because like this is like the you're trying to set a trend, or you're on the very forefront.
He likes
of,
for people to chirp about what he's wearing, no matter good or bad. If he like right now, I'm saying he looks like an idiot. He loves it. That's what he wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
But people
loves
are talking about it.
Yeah, this is what he wants.
Yes, and I understand that, and the motivation is like, hey, I'm going to do something that's
Yeah. Look, I'm wearing a grandma suit with a D sleeve. Look at me.
yeah,
Hey,
so
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
me.
and it's going to get more attention. If that's your goal, then you've obviously won, because people are talking about it, they're making fun of it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it and stuff. But the actual designer who put this together,
Oh, they love it.
well, what is the
reason
It's
that they
just
make
something different.
Is
Yeah.
it just a outlandish, like you make one sleeve
That's
4
like
feet
when
long?
Lady Gaga wears,
a
her
meat
crazy.
suit. Okay,
Yeah.
just
it's no different. It's a lesser meat suit.
okay, all right,
Mild
okay.
meat.
Okay.
Yeah, this is mild meat.
Okay, it's odd to me. I'm like, that's a weird, like, just make
See,
all.
you and I agree on this. This
Yeah.
is weird. That
Make
this
the
is,
pants balloon, like big balloons,
This is
like
one
inflatable
of the,
pants.
This is like Sam Smith had that on. Remember
Yeah,
when
he did.
Sam Smith had inflatable pants, and I will tell you right now, I love Sam Smith. I don't think there's a voice I like more than Sam Smith. But Sam Smith, you look like an idiot. Like a goddamn idiot in that inflatable suit. You look terrible, and you had no business wearing it.
And also,
Some people have to tell you. Have to tell these people to stop them from doing that. Sam Smith, you're an attractive man.
is like,
Don't wear an inflatable black vinyl suit. You look like a weirdo.
like, if you're Travis Kelce, like, all right, you just won your second Super Bowl. They're asking you to host Saturday
Just
Night
put on a
Live,
nice suit
right?
and look
like,
nice.
like, don't you want to look back when 20 years from now, and then not see yourself wearing a ridiculous
Your grandma's suit.
Now, when you have like some weirdo thing hanging down and stuff, like you just wore a really cool,
Oh, I like how
trendy
grumpy
suit.
and old we sound.
Yeah,
Don't you want to look nice for your school picture?
That is what you
Why
sound
you
like.
gotta wear a Soundgarden shirt? Soundgarden may not even be around then, Dan Lee. This is my dad talking to me in a
Okay.
different voice. I don't know why you
Okay,
went
all
for
right.
that voice. My dad
All
told me
right,
not to
all
wear a
right,
Soundgarden
yeah,
shirt.
yeah,
He's like,
okay.
and what's up with your hair? Goddamn butt cut. I had a butt cut, Soundgarden shirt. I had buds. I had a little
well,
little tiny buttos.
That's in your yearbook photo.
Yeah.
Which
But my dad wanted me to wear a suit for
but
my yearbook photo.
No one's gonna look at this. Like this
How
is
dare you?
This is some super rare thing that
Yeah.
only a handful of people. I mean, less people have hosted Saturday Night Live than a climb Mount Everest.
Correct.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
So where like he could have worn a very expensive and super nice fashion suit, like a high-end mega suit, and looked better
Yeah.
without the D sleeve and the weird mauve, and he looks like he's
yeah, even the
polyester. It's just
even
weird.
the color is fine if it's just a it doesn't have to be traditional, but just like whatever. Why the weird hanging down thing that I've never seen before that is no one. I don't know.
I get great pleasure. I would like
It is
to.
an
I would
Olympic.
like to tell him to his face, "You have no business wearing that." You know what I mean? I feel like I should. I feel like somebody
it's
should have
like, what
said.
is this?
Somebody should have pulled him aside. Maybe I volunteer, and he's a big guy, and I'm not looking for a fight. I'm just want to tell you, this has nothing to do with fighting. This isn't. It has nothing. Actually, it has nothing to do with what you like. Because if you like it, that's fine. Wear it at home. This is Saturday Night Live. A lot of people are going to see this. You need to dress nice. You put on a nice.
Oh my god.
You put on a nice suit. I'm with Tom now. I'm going full old man on this, and I'll tell him. I'll be like, you have no business wearing that. You're not a fashion guy. You look on the Super Bowl when you wore the Gucci sweater. It's a very aggressive sweater. It was furry and had little G's all over it. Nobody should wear that, right? It's what the models wear at Fashion Week. But he had it on. He had the big, crazy, like Bootsy Collins glasses. Like, you have no business wearing that. You look like an idiot. Just take that all off. Be the best tight end you can be. Go Chiefs. You're great. But when you wear that stuff, just know that we all look at you. and we think you look like an idiot. Everyone
Oh,
in the
man.
world.
Anyway, I guess that does sound like an old man thing. Just so weird. It's,
I feel,
what
but
is
then,
it?
see now, there is a part of me that's a little jealous because if I put on my suit now, the one that you and I have like relatively matching suits, if we put on those suits now, I would feel like they're out of date.
They are out of date. Yeah,
I would feel like they're out of style, and they're only
Yeah.
like 10 years old.
yeah. Well, that's usually
Right. I
know,
wouldn't
this
even know
out-
how to start getting a suit, but I'll tell you one thing: I wouldn't start with that suit that Travis Kelce has on. I wouldn't start there.
Well, if it was just like a designer suit and someone put, even if it was some interesting color or something like, that had more flair, but having the weird hanging thing.
I find it hilarious that you are gatekeeping fashion on
Yeah,
SNL.
yeah. We're the SNL
I
fashion
don't-
gatekeepers.
again,
Just put on a nice suit. Could be a funky color if you want to get crazy.
Yeah, you could get a little crazy with a fucking color.
I just don't know.
Maybe even a top hat or fedora, I would have said. I would have gone with a fedora, and I hate fedoras.
Like, it's just some weird, awkward piece of cloth that's hanging down. It's
Yeah,
just
the color is
weird.
drab. Let's go back to the color for a second. The color's fine, but it's drab. You're on Saturday Night Live, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
You got to show out, man. You can't be wearing some old dingy pink D suit.
I feel like it washes you out being a white dude.
Yes.
Like, you shouldn't, like...
Do you think he dresses out of his lane? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just... Well, the designer or some person that obviously is
Who
the
designed it?
forefront of fashion is the one that suggested this. Like, he's not doing this himself. He's, I would assume that someone is helping him with this,
Yeah.
and there's some, like, big-time designer behind this.
We're going to go all into fashion later because I want to talk about Chris Rock's fashion. The chat room brought it up, but I have strong opinions on what he wore in his special. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Well, we're going to talk about all that on the BDM show.
On the BDM
today.
show, sign up, tomandan.com. If you're not a BDM, you can sign up, get extra parties and BDM shows that are
No one can
special.
argue how good he looks for his age, right? Like, it's amazing. I'm looking
talking
at him.
about Chris
I'm like,
Rock?
Yeah,
He
Chris
looks
Rock.
amazing.
I'm like, he's 58. So 58-year-old man, he looks 32. Like, if no one knew who he was and you asked how old
looks
is this
great.
man, like, I would say most people would guess in the early 30s, which is insane.
Yeah. Why the Prince necklace?
I don't know. I mean, well, for a comedian and on stage doing a special, I'm like, you could be as crazy and as over the top as you want, because it's like you're. I don't know. The SNL is like a comedy show. It's just during the monologue, it's usually you go out there, you look your best, and then you.
What if he went out there in his football gear?
It's fine. Well, again, if it's for comedy, and maybe this is for comedy, and like,
No, it's not.
Again,
Guarantee you it's not. He thought he looked great.
He did. It's just it's a weird hanging cloth in front. That's the weird part. What is that? Never even seen that before. I've never even seen.
It's really bothering.
anybody.
I like that this is bothering you.
It's not even bothering me. I'm just like, why'd you do that?
It kind of looks like the towel that quarterbacks have to dry their hands.
Yeah. This hanging.
That's
down
what I
of
thought
a-
it was at first. At first, I thought that he had built himself a suit that was like a football suit.
Oh,
right?
it had the
so
towel.
it had like some stuff built into it to make him more comfortable. And then
Yeah,
I
he's not a
realized that,
quarterback,
no,
he's
he's wearing like wearing like an old granny onward Christian soldiers at the choir, sitting up in the choir. She has that. She has a little peepee dog. She has a tiny little clutch handbag. She's sitting up there shaking like crazy, waiting to go downstairs to the fellowship hall and have some potato salad. That is an old church grandma suit.
All right. We will see you tomorrow.
All right. Nice. Oh, that's why he wore the necklace. Prince played his last show in that theater in Baltimore. Interesting. I did not know that. Where does that go?
Monday 4.
Gotcha. And let me get rid of this picture.
All right.
And I got Brad. Here we go. You good?
Yep.
What's up, man? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys.
Awesome.
Hey, what's going on, Brad?
It's a nice looking area to work, dude. That looks very cozy, right?
Oh, yeah, just the conference room at the office.
Oh, right on. That's nice. All right. As long as you can hear us okay, we should be good to go, and we can start a little weird job. Thanks again for doing this, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Let me grab a water.
Yeah, can you grab me one too?
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Waters. Stay hydrated.
I like this stuff now. It's like Pedialyte, but it's Gatorade, but it's like got no sugar in it. And it makes my belly feel good in the mornings. That's some fucking old man shit.
My belly.
Is that like a Propel thing? Or?
Makes my belly feel good. What's that now?
What is the drink?
It's Gatorlight Zero. I don't know. I just found it over the weekend, and because I was super thirsty, and I drank it. I was like, that's pretty damn good. It's got a milder flavor than real Gatorade, and it's got no calories. Thank you, man. So yeah, it's good.
All right.
That's great. All right. Let me keep that. And would you like to? Is this a bring us back or a start? This is a start.
It's a start.
Would you like to begin?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Along with us, as always, is Samantha, our producer.
Hello.
A couple things. One, Pints and Paws. That's coming up on March 25th.
Yeah, Pints and Paws. What is that? Well, it's a dog-centric, awesome street party event in Sanford. It's also a beer fest with hundreds of beers and all kinds of cool vendors, and it's really your way of taking you and your four-legged buddy all around Sanford and just having a darn good time. It's really fun.
Yes, and if you want to become a BDM, you can sign up at tomanddan.com. It helps us out. We're doing BDM Appreciation Week in April, and if you are BDM already, make sure to check your account and see if it's current. A lot of times people's accounts lapse and they never know, and they haven't been a BDM in years.
So check it. Yeah, it helps us out. Also, if you're over there and you like what you hear and you want to support a very unique and strange weird job, which is this business.
Yeah.
This business by design is a weird job. So if you are a BDM, and I know a lot of people have been upping their BDMs from like $2.95 to $10.95, we have like an influx of new $10.95ers. And hey, man,
we appreciate that.
Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
It really helps our company out a lot when you do that, and it makes it so we can provide better events for you.
All right, let's do some weird job.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by FirehousePressureWashing.com. They got a bunch of spring cleaning specials right now, so talk to them. They could wash your roof, wash your driveway.
They cleaned our Air T&D and made it look really nice for the Sanford Porch Fest. They can make your home, your pool, whatever you got.
Your business.
Certainly, if you got something needs cleaning, they can definitely work out a solution for you. It's FirehousePressureWashing.com.
So we've got Brad on the line. How you doing, Brad?
I'm great, guys. How y'all doing?
Good,
man. Thanks for the time. Thanks for being on the Zoom for Weird Job Wednesday.
What is your job, Brad?
Well, what I'm calling in about is an older job. I'm currently a defense attorney.
Okay.
But specifically, when I was late middle school, early high school, I was an assistant instructor for the John D. Williams Delta Cotillion.
Oh, so you were a manners instructor.
That's right.
Yeah, I went to
and ballroom dance.
I did a little bit of cotillion, but then I would fight with my mom about how much I hated it. And I was like, I already know my manners. I know how to do everything. And I was like, I'll go there and I was like, same person I am now, right? I was like, I'll crap on the floor. I was saying things like that. I was like, I'll poop on the floor. And my mother's like, damn, Lee, why would you say that? I was like, I'll poop on the floor. I swear to God, I'll do it, you old bat. I was a I was a piece of work.
Okay, so what is cotillion first off?
Your boys and Maisie all need to go to cotillion.
I don't know about that.
I would agree. I think it's great for any young person as they get to the right age, and that's kind of how I got involved. The way I became an assistant instructor is I went through the program first for a few years and really enjoyed it. And so what it is a etiquette and dancing instructional course. It kind of goes over a several week period where you start off learning some of the basics of some traditional ballroom dance, foxtrot, some waltz, some variations on those themes, and then we move into swing dancing styles. It's more popular at the time.
You love swing. Right? Tom loves swing dancing. They used to call.
And then there's a
suit,
final
Willie.
etiquette and table manners party, and it's all done in very formal attire. Ladies are required to wear dresses and long elbow length white gloves, and then the boys were all in coat and tie.
Hello, yes.
So
now everyone pick up your salad fork and delicately cut the tomato.
Yeah, this sounds super antiquated.
I mean, look at society now. A bunch of animals out there. No, this is needed. Yeah. This is needed.
Well, that's what I'm looking at.
The last time you went to 7-Eleven, if everybody went to cotillion, thered be some refined people in there.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I am looking at society, and I'm like, you will, if you mind your manners and are super proper, you are now the outsider in society.
Yeah,
so
you're the weirdo.
What are you trying to do? Assimilate and be like like everybody else? Because that will help you out more than being the weirdo who's doing all these proper things that no one else knows about. And then
But older people with money know about them, and that's a good way into things, right? Like if you want to show
that
off,
is the important distinction. Really what it is, and looking back on where I think the value of it is now, because like I said, I started taking the classes, let's say around 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and then working into teaching a little bit towards the end of middle school and high school. A lot of the value in it is if you are but if you're going to take a more blue collar path, then it was going to have a lot less value to it. But especially for these young kids at the age that they were involved in the class, looking back on what I as a parent would think the value would be is mingling with other people that recognize and appreciate the value too. And it's almost an attempt at introducing kids that you anticipate being involved in more important business dealings, more
business kids,
call it professions.
It's business babies. Yeah, it's business babies. I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
Well, I'm picking up what you're laying down. No, but it was
very chumpy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't very rich when I took it, and it was more of a small town for me. It was more of we lived in a small town. We lived near a college. My mom and dad did have a certain set amount of manners and things they wanted me to learn, and it was important to them. So it felt more of like a small town thing, not necessarily like a rich thing, and it wasn't that expensive to sign up for.
That's accurate for the way this one was. This was done. I'm in Mississippi.
Nice.
So this was very kind of old school. It was almost hanging on to what some of the more formal things would be, and before they're kind of lost to history, and kind of putting together some of those skills that kids just wouldn't learn anywhere else. And there are things that you would learn at that, and being involved in it, with etiquette, manners, and let's say fashion and that are make little tells. We were taught how to wear our jackets, 2-button jackets, top button's always button. You never button the bottom button. On a 3, it's sometimes always never. And it creates little tells. You can see them visually if someone knows how to do it.
Well, like how to tie a tie. Like this is something that, like, when you asked me, like, because and I'm not shaming you here, but
I feel it.
Every time we've had
I feel shame.
Every time we've had an event where you've needed your tie tied, I either tied it for you or you do the move where I tied it. I mean, I think I tied it 10 years ago and it's still tied.
yeah. There's a loosen it.
Yeah, and he just loosens it and takes it over his head and puts it back on the rack.
All
Now,
right.
that is something that you would learn there. You know, like how to properly put on your shoes with a shoehorn. You know, how to polish your shoes. Does anybody in here, did their father ever teach them how to use shoe polish on a pair of loafers? My dad did.
I don't think my dad ever owned loafers.
My dad did. It was. I think maybe I'm just because I'm a dumb old man. You know, a dumb old chump.
So okay, Brad, let me ask
But
you this.
you got to know how to do it. It's not easy.
So Daniel does bring up a good point, although I'd argue against me knowing how to tie a tie.
Well, of course, because you love arguing.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I don't wear a tie to work. So I wear a tie.
Not yet. You're going down that path. You got shoes on today?
I'm not joking. I haven't worn a tie since the last time we hosted Orlando City Awards.
I don't think I have either.
And then maybe like even funerals nowadays, like they're a lot like my grandma's funeral.
I was wearing Hawaiian shirts for a minute, but then those Boogaloo guys got a hold of them, or whatever those racist people.
Like,
What about weddings?
And I haven't
I
been.
you haven't been to one in a while.
I haven't been to a wedding in a long time, you know, because
Definitely
I've
missed mine.
aged out of a wedding. But anyway, so
I think you've said that every day since your wedding. I love that.
So do I need to learn how to tie a tie for the one?
How are you gonna teach your sons?
Every 2 years, I need to.
Now you can just pull up YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that with YouTube you'd be able to tie a tie.
Yeah, now they go step by
test it
step.
out.
Yeah, they do it. But so Brad,
Well, it'd be sweaty. It'd be hot. Oh man.
so
Get a clip on. It's fine.
no, it's not.
let's rewind for a second because and I'll give you a little bit of my background. I grew up like a white trash animal.
Same.
Sam too. Like,
Yeah.
I guess
okay,
I didn't. I didn't grow up like a white trash animal.
And
Kool-Aid mustache.
yeah, Kool-Aid mustache,
yeah.
bagel bites. I didn't
Oh,
know.
too rich for my blood.
I didn't know people.
Bagel bites.
Bagel bites are expensive as hell,
Hell
man.
yeah.
I got this for a treat,
Yeah.
maybe.
Upper class white trash.
Trash or money.
Rich white trash.
Upper
Yeah,
trash,
exactly.
yeah.
Upper trash it exists.
Yeah, king trash.
And then so you know, but I throughout my white trash learnings, I did learn.
What did you learn?
That like when you sit
Not a
at a
lot.
table, and then you know, to keep your elbows off the table.
Hey,
I
that's
learned
good.
that,
All right.
and then I also learned that when the food comes, you take the napkin and you put it on your lap.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Like learning things like if your meal comes, not to just dig in because everybody hasn't been served yet.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
I see people do that all the
I've
time,
learned
and
that-
it bothers me. You know,
and I learned that when I was a kid, waiting because some
you
people
want everybody
to
to have theirs.
Well, some people want to say grace, and they're like depending on what. So you just wait until everybody. So there's like 3 different things that got me through it, and
pulling
I feel
on my mother's chair, and then like once she sits in, like pushing it in a little bit to assist her.
I never did the chair thing. It seemed like
They did that at Cotillion, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that. But also, it's like you start jumping up and pulling out women's
No,
chairs.
no,
and
no.
like
It's-
me too.
it
MF.
It wasn't all of it. You're not running
I'm not
around
some dainty, you know, ooh, pull my chair out. Like I can do it myself.
Is Ric Flair here?
No, I'm just
What
saying.
the hell just happened?
I don't know.
He's
I'm
saying
just-
that he wouldn't want. He just
Well,
went
it's
through
like-
an entire scenario where he went to pull out a woman's chair,
Extreme.
and she was more independent and was like, "What are you doing? Me too." And that's right.
Yeah.
That's what you were just doing.
Well, it just seems like you having to pull out any woman's chair that comes by is like
No, you ask. You can
aged
ask,
out.
"May I?"
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's like the old like standing up when a woman enters a room. That feels.
I still do that for Sam every time she comes in here. Every single time.
It feels very
That's one of
antiquated.
the things that I remember my parents would tell me when I was, I guess, around like let's say fifth, sixth grade. They said it was worth every dollar they spent on cotillion lessons. When I was at a dinner, kind of honoring my grandmother for some sorority thing she did, and it was not highfalutin or anything like that, but just I naturally stood up at the table, you know, in a jacket and shook hands and introduced myself to all the old ladies at the table.
That's impressive.
And made my grandmother feel important.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's it. You were raised like I was then. I had a lot of this stuff, maybe not as much as you did, but very, very similar. Like I knew a lot of of little manners things that I needed to do
now,
as a kid.
Do you have to go? Because the things you just said right now, I could teach my sons in an afternoon. Now, they won't do it because they don't listen to me, but I could teach them, like...
Except for the tie.
Like,
I'll pull that up on YouTube.
Well, yeah, YouTube the tie, and then I'll just tell them, like, hey, napkin, elbows off the table. When a woman comes in, you stand up. When anybody, you shake their hand, look them in the eye.
I do believe in the shake their hand and look them in the eye thing. People don't do that anymore. Grown-ass people don't even do that anymore. They're like scared of everything.
You need a 6-week cotillion course to teach all. Like, that's pretty easy.
You don't need the 6-week cotillion course to learn the skills. But what Dan just said, grown-ups are scared of it nowadays. What you need is the repetition over time to be confident to do it when it's appropriate. We spent the vast majority of the classes not really even engaged in the manners aspect of it, because like I said, the skills are pretty quick to, we spent like one class on that. Like say it's an 8-week program, one class would be the dinner and manners. Every other class was actually the majority of time spent on dance, and it was my favorite part, because I think Daniel can understand this with kind of how he operates.
I love boogieing.
It was the earliest opportunity I had to spend an hour and a half dancing with girls.
Yeah, he's right. All the hot girls would be there because they were all rich. At least in DeLand, and they'd all be there, and you'd get to spend time with them.
That's where you lost me,
That makes
Brad.
it creepy.
The dance part.
It doesn't make it creepy if you're a young boy and you're saying, "Wow, I get an opportunity to be around young girls," and that's not creepy. That's just life.
Yeah, now that is
I've used
true.
the dance skills throughout my entire dating life.
Yeah.
I
used to. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now that still holds up. There was something powerful as hell when my dad would stand up. He'd walk over to my mom. He'd extend his arm. She would rise, put her hand in his, and then he would do that move where he would say, like, "You want to dance?"
Yep.
And they'd make their way out to the dance floor, and they'd go. And it was sexy. It was confident. I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it because I miss my parents so much.
Exactly.
It was rad seeing how confident that dude. I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have that.
But Brad, I swear,
it was awesome. And my dad was a good ass dancer, and he's out there dancing with my mom. And then you saw and he just was it made me think, you're a badass, dude.
Yeah, I went into this trying to S on this, but now I'm realizing all these skills I never had growing up, and like to this day,
if you did that
I
for
don't
Crystal,
dance
dude, your head would explode. I think.
Oh yeah, it's too late.
It would be awesome.
And
though.
Crystal's like, "You've never danced with
she'd
me."
start laughing if you did it. But
if
you did it, think of how powerful
Would
that
you
would
put
feel.
your boys in it? They got all kinds of other classes.
They don't want to do nothing.
Well, I know, but you force them to go to everything
This
else.
is a good for them scenario, not a something they want to do scenario.
I know, and I feel like you're right. Like this, I would like them to have the confidence to ask someone to dance.
I don't do that
one
with
day.
Andrea, and I wish I did. Maybe I'll do that this year. Maybe I'll be someplace and I'll be like, "Hey, you want to dance?" And force myself to do that.
Take her to jazz night at Hollerbox.
If I'm sitting
that's a good idea.
like if I'm sitting at a like as a family function or whatever, and my son stood up and shook everybody's hand and pulled out a chair, I'll be like, "Oh my God!" I'd be like, "Look what I did!" I'll scream, "Look what I did!" And then I'd be like,
so then you act like an animal.
Oh, no, I like that. I support this.
And then everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're amazing
Look
father!"
at them dancing with all the grandmas out there. They're the most fun. They're the granny dancing boys.
People would look at me and be like, "Man, my God,
you
man,
do that? You're so powerful.
Yeah, you're like you're the best dad."
You must
Look
have
at-
the biggest
Look
balls.
Yeah, that's what I want.
How great a husband he is. She is worth more because he's so good.
Yeah. No, it does.
My wife will know that I didn't do any of this. We just threw money at Brad.
But the people looking at your wife don't know that, and then they will create that value towards her because of the value that you exude.
That's true. Like, it raised the level of my mom and dad's stat. When other people saw it, you could see how it would change, like that, like just them knowing that, like what you're supposed to do at a party. You're supposed to dance, right? You're supposed to do all that stuff. I hate it when you go to like weddings and stuff, and there's a dance floor and no one's dancing, and I'm like, I feel bad.
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's what have we done to ourselves? What have we done where we've gotten so mealy mouthed that we can't even ask a woman or a man, if you like a man or a woman, you want to dance with them, you should do it.
You know what's weird is we live in a society where we're embarrassed to dance at a wedding, but we'll doo-doo our pants on TikTok and then show the internet that, you know what I'm saying? That's weird.
It is weird.
Well, you're
half the content on TikTok is people dancing in public, though.
No, I know. No, but are those people dancing at their their
They're typically good dancers, though. So.
Yeah. I'm just talking about like we're ashamed of one thing. I've never danced that I have before when usually it's girls they pull me out on the dance floor and shame me into dancing, and then I dance like a fool.
I don't support that. I don't like that. I don't like it when they get the chump out there. They're like,
and then I do.
Yeah, then you always go to the worm because it's the only dance you know. What's the hardest dance to teach in cotillion?
Well, and I was thinking about that because it's one I actually don't remember anymore because I didn't really use it outside of instructional. It was the tango. I just don't remember how to tango.
It takes two. I know that.
And honestly,
the majority of them,
don't laugh at that.
Relatively easy. The foxtrot is essentially a box step. The waltz is only one direction back and forth, and make it fancy. You just spin while you do it. So the majority of the dances are pretty simple, and if one person knows it, which is kind of traditionally the man's job is to lead. I can take a woman that doesn't know the steps and just guide them through, and in about 30 seconds of repetition, you've learned the step.
Did you teach any of that highly sexual slamming Caribbean dancing? I love some high. I love the boofing. And they're just slamming their pelvises into the girl's mega ass.
I like when you boof them off the stage.
It's a skinny little Chris Rock of a man, like a tiny little Caribbean man, skinny, and then a big mama, and he is jamming, ramming, and then he goes, and then she flies off the stage. What is that called?
It's dance hall.
No,
it's awesome.
You're talking about the foxtrot and stuff. Are you teaching too old of dances?
Yeah, you gotta teach the. It'd be
weird.
The mashed potato and the boogie woogie.
That's too old too.
Yeah, you gotta teach them.
The curriculum is ballroom dance based. So, it's all contact dancing. So if you think about, if I was dancing, at a bar or something, aside from, just kind of, grinding on each other, you're generally kind of dancing in front of each other, and you're not making, physical contact. And that's part of how the guiding works from a leading dance perspective is for a foxtrot position, I'm going to hold, your right hand in my left, and my right hand will be on the back of your shoulder blade. And that helps me guide, through the step. So the contact is important versus, a step that, would be, a modern dance that doesn't have any contact.
Gotcha.
You can't really guide someone else through it.
But don't you?
Tom wants a tootsie
roll. No one
roll
wants to sit there at a bar and be like, hey, real fast, spend 5 minutes and teach you this elaborate step and then go out on the dance floor. They don't want that.
Gotcha.
Well, don't you have to practice this? It seems like you need to practice this over and over to be able to be good at it when you're an adult or whatever. Like if teaching some kids now, it seems like they'd lose it by the time they'd ever do this in the future 15 years from now, where it's like you have to be into dance. It seems like either you're into dance, like Maisie, she's into dance.
Right.
It's her passion,
Yeah,
is passion of dance. So she's going to be a good dancer. My sons, they'll take this course, they'll learn like foxtrot, and then 15 years from now, or at the prom, they'll never remember that.
Then Minecraft just pushes it out of their body.
They're also not playing that kind of music at prom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
but they should. Goddamn, that's good American music.
It seems like they'd be the weirdo nerds doing the foxtrot, and everybody's doing the gritty with the sunglasses.
Think this though. Foxtrot is just the old name for it. All it is a box step, and it goes in 4/4 time. So anything, and you just vary the speed of the step. So anything that's in 4/4 time, which is 95% of all music, you can do it. And I'm not saying that it's appropriate to do a traditional box step at the club. But if you're somewhere that you want to show off,
Yeah,
it's an easy way to do
it is impressive when you see it. Like, my parents used to twirl around. I don't know what dance they were doing, but when they started, they'd like start going around, and people would be like
the Haunted Mansion Ballroom.
Yeah, like the Haunted Mansion Ballroom, and then people would legitimately be drinking punch and be like, "Oh my!" And I'd be like, "God damn, I'll never be like that guy." So how do I do that?
Brad, going back to the manners at a dinner table, right? So, what are some
You
of the
spit your steak into your napkin, and then you tuck it into your pocket.
What are some of the things that people do all the time that is considered
real bad?
Yeah, like bad. That because
Put your cell phone on the table. Put your glasses on the table.
What are things that you've noticed that the kids don't know?
Well, I notice a lot of things that I notice things that even the restaurants don't know anymore. There's a signal system to how you place your cutlery on the plate, signal the waiter if you want refills. If you're done with your plate, you want them to take it away. If you're still working, even the wait staff that it's supposed to be signals to, just generally
and nobody knows that. He's right.
Anymore.
I remember my mom and dad telling me, like,
nothing.
if you put both of your cutlery on your plate together, that signifies that you're done. If you put them in a crisscross, that tells the waiter, I'm still working on this.
didn't know that.
Yeah, but nobody else knows it anymore because nobody goes to cotillion anymore.
Sorry,
Even at like fine dining, they might, right? Or
I didn't mean
no?
to yell at you. Maybe at like Del Frisco's or
Right.
Christner's. I would say at Christner's they would know. I would say at like any of your finer
But a
steakhouses.
chicken guy, they don't know.
They're Olive Garden. They don't even know how to put their.
That you don't know to ask you if you mean to be getting that signal.
Chicken.
They don't even know how to put their electric bill on auto pay. They don't know nothing about signals.
Signals.
But beyond the napkin on the lap, keep your elbows off the table, stand up when someone comes to the table.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically
the basics.
Like, if you do those,
With your silverware from out to in is the general rule.
yeah. But who goes to that fancy of a dinner where there's like multiple? I mean, you're at a fancy dinner like that once every couple years.
If that happens, I always have a panic attack because I never remember any of it.
I just grab the biggest spoon and
go to town.
Just start eating.
It's outside in, but it's also it's like you're rarely at a place that fancy where you're gonna have multiple cutlery and stuff. Like for 99% of the time, you're just like napkin on the lap.
Yeah.
Stand up when someone comes to the table. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most of the time I eat in my house alone.
In front of the TV.
Chew with your mouth closed.
People do not abide by that anymore.
No, yeah. Well, back to the animals. Like the majority of everywhere doesn't know any of this stuff, and then hence, like, I don't know if the businessmen in the future will give a damn about this, or will they? Is this if it's something that if the majority of the people aren't doing it,
Rich
does
people
it
will
matter?
do it because they're the ones going to those fancy restaurants and stuff, and they're hobnobbing.
I do think it is
rich
just
white trash.
Generally from the folks that want to maintain it, because I've just kind of noticed a general decrease in some of these skills, and I would say like some like the fashion etiquette and just knowledge. Even in my own professional world, I noticed some attorneys that don't necessarily seem to know some of these things. So even like at the some of the professions you might think would be trying to hold on to this, it does seem to be fading away.
And you say rich people, but
that's because of your Zuckerbergs. When everybody's wearing a hoodie, right?
Well,
then it's time marches on, and then there's no need for it anymore. Your argument's not invalid, but I wish you were wrong, because some of these things I think just make your dinner or just your experience more pleasant.
Well, the majority, and this may be just because the circles that I run in, the majority of rich people that I've met, they may have suits on, but they're drunk, red-faced.
It's a different higher society than that.
They're not high society. They're rich, though.
Yeah. Right.
They're millionaires, but
money doesn't make you classy.
Yeah. And they don't give S's about someone else's manners.
Yeah.
They don't have manners themselves.
We weren't rich growing up. Certainly, not even close. But we were old school Southern, and the vibe,
new money.
And the old school Southern vibe was like my grandma's taught me all this stuff, and like him telling the story about like a grandma being impressed if you did. That sounds like something I would do, and that's very much. I don't like it. Yeah, we grew up sort of the same way in like very small town, raised by Southern people, and I guess that's what you get.
So as much as I want to argue against this, I feel like I would be impressed if my sons went through this and then could have the basics of dancing and then all the manners and like I said, just if they stood up when people came to the table and shook someone's hand and looked them in the eye.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even get them to do that.
Yeah, we finally got to the point now where Maisie can order her own food, like loudly,
we
confidently.
we force them to do that.
And look in that lady's eyes and order your chicky fingers. You got to do it, or you're not going to get any food.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta be able to talk to people.
Yeah, we force them to order themselves so they don't get to the point where like they have no ability to talk to other people.
I see other people's kids. The kid's not even. There's nothing there. Can't even function. Can't be around other people.
Do you order your wife's meals when you go out?
No.
Well, if she's getting fat, I do. I'm like, God, we got to slim you down a little bit. I don't want to get on top of you.
No.
I like when Trav orders for me.
Yeah. It's an old school thing.
See?
But it also, there's no way I get it right because she ordered some cockamamie.
She's very picky.
She's like, I'm a vegetarian first off, and then I'm like,
they love to hear that.
Here we
Don't say
go.
it.
We're starting with vegetarian.
Well, then now we've established
First
it'll
off,
be wrong.
I'm a Scientologist. Oh no!
And then now you confuse them and you threw them off. Just order the
you know
standard.
what? And it could mess up your meal. Does she
Oh,
order
yeah.
first, or do you order first? Because once the vegetarian bomb has been lit, I feel like everybody's meal is fair game from getting ruined.
They have no idea. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's like,
Take the meat off
I'm
of
like,
everything.
Just point at the number and then get that. Nothing. Don't confuse them.
She can
The
only,
number? Where are you taking
she
her?
can
McDonald's?
only eat at Mexican restaurants, right? Isn't it like only safe spots like
No,
Mexican?
everything is wrong. We're all. She's like, this is not it. I'm like, just eat whatever they give you. That's what I do. No matter what they give me, I'll eat and never complain and pay extra. Anyway, Brad, how much is Cotillions like class if I want to get my sons in?
Oh, well, geez, man, it's 20 years since I was over there. I think it might have been like about $1,000 at the time. I remember
Ours
my
was
pay
cheaper.
for 8 weeks was $500 and a letter of recommendation as a student.
I do remember it was
not doing
expensive.
that.
I remember. I remember ours was very expensive as well. Not quite that expensive. I want to say my mom and dad kicked around the number of like $350 or something. I think I'm older than you though. But
And that may have been, I was a kid, I wasn't paying for it, so I don't know.
But it was expensive because there were certain
But it
things
was.
you needed, and it came with like a little thing. We got like a little booklet, and it had like all the stuff that you needed, and then like what you'd be doing each week. Like this week we're gonna start with we're gonna do like table seating. And
Exactly.
then you're gonna practice that. And
So, Brad, do you get out with your wife when you're going to weddings and then do the foxtrot?
I did this less than a month ago. My
guy's a baller.
wife is a business exec in a dental holding company, and one of her doctors got married, and we went to the wedding. It was at a very nice venue.
Did you do
and
the
while
extend
all
the
other
arm,
men
and then
were
you're
sitting
like
in the back being wallflowers, trying to chug whiskey as fast as they can to get courage? I grabbed my wife, tucked her arm underneath my elbow,
Confident.
and we went out on the dance floor. And we stay on the dance floor the majority of the time.
Yeah, you got that big Kelsey D.
She told me that like the next week, some of the other women at the wedding, made some comments to her about it, and she really appreciated.
Absolutely true.
that.
Absolutely true. And my mom
You
would
think
say
you're
that.
better than me, Brad?
He does.
You think you're better? I'm
He
just at
does.
that open bar trying to get wasted, so my old crow don't yell at me.
You're hiding.
I was drinking too. I
And
just
you
didn't
got to
need
get
break
out
to
there,
start dancing.
and then now my wife's like,
Yeah.
"Look at Brad, he's
Yeah.
dancing with his wife."
You're
Why don't
drunk,
you-
and you didn't even tie your own tie. Daniel tied that.
See, you're shaming all the other husbands that were just trying to get loaded, and you're out there doing the
Yeah.
foxtrot, making us look bad.
You're over there getting doubles, drinking them in the bathroom so your wife doesn't see. You're trying not to slur. You're sweating crazy because you're wearing the big shoulder pads, Brooks Brothers.
Brad had to go to Cotillion
Yeah.
and show off a foxtrot.
Yeah, oh, look at him go. He's spinning crazy.
Yeah.
And his wife, when the other ladies say that, that is like, that's the ultimate. Like, I can remember other women going, oh, my, Dan was great. And my mom would be like, oh, yeah. And I'd be like, he's getting laid. I think I knew even as a kid.
Being able to dance, that's a good skill to
It
have.
is a good skill to have, man. It really, it's one that we've never talked about on this bit, but it's one of the things as I'm thinking about it, like, I know for a fact that Andrea would love it if had a wedding or some party or something, and I said, hey, you want to go dance? She would love it.
See,
love it.
Now,
I got to do it.
Here's my
I gotta do it.
Okay, my number one
You could
problem.
learn 2 steps and then 2 variations on each step that would make you look the fanciest boy in the land. You can learn it.
I am the fanciest boy in the land. That's what they call me.
That's like what Tom wants to be. He wants to be fancy.
Okay.
Take some cotillion classes.
So
I can see it in his eyes that he hates the fact that Brad Brad is giving him the laser feeling of that you can't do it, but you hate that.
Max can.
Max
Me
would crush
and
it.
Tommy can't. And I'll explain. And this
Max would crush it.
This is something that we do in other realms of society, and we are fine with people being born a certain way and living their life that way, and why you shouldn't try to change it. And I'm saying that me and Tommy were born not wanting to be embarrassed, and there's no way out of it, and there's no way that either of us are ever going to grab our lady by the hand, or man, if Tommy chooses that.
Yeah, however you go.
And then pull out the dance floor and dance some waltz, because we are terrified of everybody looking at us.
Yeah,
and
I know. I
I'm
can
so
feel it.
embarrassed, and like it's a mental
I
disorder.
can feel it, dude. It's coming off of you right now. I can feel it. Red hot.
I'll never do that, and Tommy can never do it. Max can. He wants to do it, but it's like I'm sure there was kids in the class that just like.
Did they ever freeze and start crying or pee their pants or?
Every time. There would always be. And usually at the time it was the little boys that just wanted to run around and run amok and didn't want to dance. But I remember some of the little girls too. They were just kind of some folks would just kind of get a degree of stage fright. And that's one of the things that I think that one of the values to it, aside from this value, I've always said in martial arts as well, but confidence to just be out there, do something, be under the lights. And this is one of the things, cotillion, that, is one of the things in my life that I've thought about that has instilled a degree of confidence in me. And so I think there's, aside from the skills, there's value in that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like I see it with Maisie. You hit on something perfectly about the spotlight thing. She and what you're saying is absolutely correct. I didn't give her that. She didn't suddenly start gravitating to the spotlight. It's just in there. She just likes the spotlight. But the confidence she gets from pulling it off is like unmatched.
And if someone tries to tell me, well, if you push Tommy and he'll get over that fear of
maybe not.
And then I'll be like, no, he won't. You know why I know this? Because I never have. And I chose.
But maybe you weren't given the tools to have that confidence because you weren't in cotillion class, or you weren't forced to do things that you didn't want to do.
Yeah, but I have been in the entertainment industry for 20 years doing things I didn't want to do, and I still don't want to do it.
I can see that.
But he has gotten better at doing it.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I can see both sides of this argument.
I still just as don't want to get on stage in front of people, or don't want to dance in front of people.
I was talking
like a fool.
I was talking about you to Maisie last night. We were talking about practicing, and Maisie was, I don't know why we were talking about this. It's just dumb luck. We were talking about doing the Orlando City award ceremonies and how you and I would have to practice that. And I was telling Maisie how much we would practice it, and she's like, well, it's just, and she was kind of doing what most people do. Well, it's just presenting. It doesn't sound that hard. And I was like, Maisie, Mr. Tom would read his note cards 1 billion times, and we would still mess it up. But it was so hard, and getting out there was so difficult and scary. It's like literally the scariest thing I've ever done. And I was trying to explain it to her, and you've done that 6 times, and it's never gotten where you're like, oh, I'm okay with this, this isn't that bad, or I can do this.
I do agree. You forcing yourself in those situations does make you a better person.
It does.
Because you're terrified of it, getting through it.
Also proves that you can do it.
It does, but it doesn't necessarily make it less terrifying.
It's still terrifying.
Or you're like,
it's like me on a plane.
You don't want to do it. Yeah. You can,
like
Daniel
exactly
can get through it.
I'm better,
but you're not looking forward to it.
Right. I am better on a plane. I can make that statement, but I still hate it just as much as I've always hated it.
I know.
But 1% better.
The key to life is forcing yourself to do things you hate, which sucks.
This is a good one.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Why would they design life
as early as possible?
Right. Like it's good. It is nice to give. It is because now that I agree with.
Sure.
Getting kids to start forcing themselves to do these things and get out of their comfort zone early
It's
is
like
good.
norm for
Because
them.
if they get old, if you get old and you're like, you haven't ever known what it's like to get out of your comfort zone, you're never getting out of your comfort zone because you're too far gone.
Oh, it's cemented in there, and
you'll never get out.
Yeah,
You're trapped.
You're trapped within your own.
Well,
and
that's
that
terrifying myself saying that.
Well, it's
I got to dance this year. I got to dance.
Get to dancing.
Yeah. Getting out of your comfort zone
It's
is
important.
because you will solidify yourself into that comfort zone, and life will pass you by, and then you'll be like, man, nothing happened. Like I stuck in my comfort zone, and the whole time, and that's the end. Now we're at the end.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I could have done something, but man, I'm comfortable.
Well, this was a really good one, man. Very, very good. That was awesome. What a strange job.
So what can you make as a defense attorney, Brad? What are we talking here? 220.
There's the beauty of the defense attorney work is there really is no ceiling. So our practice,
except
is
for ladies,
majority of criminal defense, but we all also engage in some personal injury, wrongful death, some civil litigation on that. So there's no ceiling on it.
So as much
depending
as you want
on
to work.
the case, I'm talking about working for the state defense attorney.
Hell, don't do that.
Yeah, you don't make any money doing
I don't
that.
think you want to do that.
Yeah, I know we've done.
If you're a public defender, you're making 70.
Oh,
yikes! That's rough.
Yow.
And you're around really good people. And there's that.
It seems easy. Yeah, it's easy.
Or you're around great people
and not that much work.
Everybody in our chat room wants to know if you think Alex Murdaugh was guilty.
Okay, we can pivot over.
I didn't follow it real well. I don't. That's too.
Yeah,
that's
you
too
can't
much
answer if you
like
don't
my
know.
own work.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think everybody did. I love your
Also-
voice too, by the way. Your accent makes me think of my relatives. Like as you're talking, it just.
Oh,
I'm like,
thank you.
This was a good one, man. Well done. Well done.
Also, and this is probably the advice of every defense attorney is don't give them nothing. Like keep your mouth
Do not
shut.
speak ever. Do not blow in the portable. Do not engage in field sobriety.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing.
And don't shoot your daughter with her gun.
Hashtag don't do nothing.
I'm never shooting Maisie with her gun. I'm just not doing it.
Don't do nothing because if you do something, it'll be
Yep.
brought up
It'll be
against you.
something.
They're
If
like,
you
look
do
at him.
something,
My last
something will
murder
happen.
trial. I think she would have beaten it had she not spent an hour and a half in what she thought was explaining and talking her way out of it, where she spent an hour and a half confessing. And once that was played in front of the jury, the trial was.
Yeah. Because they make you feel so comfortable. They give you coffee and a cigarette. And then
Yeah.
you're like,
Your buddy.
These things are gonna work out. This isn't that bad.
yeah. You're like, I mean, this Egg McMuffin, I'll tell you,
This is delicious.
I'm smarter than these guys. Anyway. All right, dude. We appreciate it.
Guys, thank y'all.
All right,
no
man.
problem.
Be good. We'll see you soon. All right, let me get him out of here. And bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh, that was really good, right?
Yeah, that was good.
Nice little. We stopped. Oh, yep. We gotta get out of here. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, are we still going?
Oh, I thought you said bye.
Yeah,
And then you,
oh, was that the ending?
I thought it was too.
Oh,
I kept
that's
going.
fine. That's fine.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, we're back. We're back. We're
Ah,
back.
we got you.
We could do one more minute. So, what was your feelings about that interview?
He brought up a lot of he brought up a lot of memories. Like I remember, I didn't finish my cotillion because it was a little bit of me.
How long did you have to go?
It was like mine was 6 weeks, I believe. I think I did 3 to 4 weeks, but then I was also involved in soccer and I was playing on 3 different teams. And then I also I was playing on a high school team and then 2 club teams. And then I also had a band. I was playing drums. So I had a lot going on as a kiddo.
Do they make it? I'm sure there's some organization that still does this that
Like
makes
Toastmasters Club?
No, we're a little more fun because I imagine this is like old,
like
stuffy
comedy traffic school.
yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I sent my boys to Cotillion,
Hosted by Devin Siebold of Just Laughs. Like you want something like that, right?
Well,
you want it taught by like a funny comedian.
if
man.
it's old and stuffy and like antiquated, like
some old lady.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
God.
gonna be bored and they're gonna be like, we hate this, But if it's like
Yeah.
if they make
You
it
gotta
fun,
have-
right?
You
I
gotta
don't
have
know.
Mickey Mouse up there.
Just make it a little more,
You gotta have like.
of the time.
Tracy Morgan, and I'm gonna teach you which fuck to use.
All right, we're done now. Bye bye.
Get deflated at the end there. We're done now. Where's that go? That's Wednesday 1 and 2. Oh, we got to reach out to Roosevelt's.
What's that?
The shirt company.
Oh, Tracy did.
Oh, she did. Okay.
I sent her all that stuff. Yeah.
I had no idea they were local.
Yep, she already reached out. I didn't know they were local either.
Well, do we want to do anything else, or do we want to go to lunch?
Yeah, let's just go to
Really?
lunch and then
we can come back really if you want.
Yeah, we can come back.
'Cause I know Dan has to get out of here too.
For the BD, I already got my lunch, so we're good.
Yeah, I just
So look out for Facebook. We'll do the BDM and the OG.